Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, Books, Girls, and Purrs. My name's Leslie, and this is
Sam. Hi, guys.
who I've lassoed into discussing Heated Rivalry because we actually just can't shut up about this show.
Nope.
We watched the season finale. I watched episode 6 on repeat. It came on, and I repeated it until I fell asleep. And the next day, I don't know what day it is. What is it, Sunday? I watch it twice. And today's Sunday. And I will dabble and watch certain scenes.
Yep. I'm not even going to own up. I feel like at this point, asking how many times someone has watched an episode of the show is tantamount to asking a woman her age. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't even go there. What's the point? Trying to find a cute color. I don't know what I want to do here. All I know is, this is my spoiler chat. I'm just going to say that because we've clearly watched this way too many times. Darfalina! Yeah. Hey, Darfalina, have you watched this? Because I did see your comment in Discord. So just so you know, this is going to be spoiler.
We're just super spoiler. I'm sorry.
So just letting you know. Oh man, I don't know where to start. This episode was so good, perfection, just like episode 5. To the point where Sam and I were talking behind the scenes, and I was like, we should probably start. So we just immediately started talking.
And we're just gonna keep going. We would not shut up about it.
It's so dang good. Maybe this is better. I'm just playing over here. Anyways. Oh, you watch it today? Yeah.
Yay!
Darfalina.
Oh, it's like Boston yellow. We're good. Yeah. It's Boston Raiders yellow.
I don't know anything about sports or fictional sports, so Sam knows way more than I do.
Well, that's Ilya's team.
Yeah. Good down. Did you see that they have I haven't gone on and bought anything yet. I don't know. I don't know if it's I saw them promoting it, the 2 actors plus the author, but they have merch.
Yes, so they do. And it's completely sold out.
It would be. There's a romance.
And they even have the jerseys.
Oh, really?
For each of them that you can get. But last time I saw, they were sold out. And honestly, because I know what's coming, we'll just say I'm not gonna buy a jersey.
Yeah, I don't really want a jersey. I want their ship name or something like that on a sweater if they have it. And then also
I may have purchased one.
Oh God. We got to. Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, there's a Rip Bodies in Culver City. It's a romance bookstore.
Yeah,
and they restocked, but I just haven't had a chance to go. I was just errands after errands because of the holidays. But just the knowledge of seeing on Instagram, I guarantee you by now it's probably sold out.
Yeah,
there's no way.
I'm sure. Oh man, I wish I had known, but I've been a hermit, so
yeah,
I might not have been able to get over there.
All right, let's kick this thing off. We're just gonna start discussing the episode. No pre-figured out questions. We're just gonna wax poetic. Okay, so let me see how I do this. I always forget. Here we go. All right, so the episode opens up with Scott winning an award and talking about his coming out moment. What did you think about this?
I liked it because it kind of was a nice, summation of everything going on. And then the other thing I liked about it was how it sort of set up the kind of the theme for the rest of the episode about, being brave and doing something that, you haven't done because you've been scared. And that was kind of, I think that set it up nicely. And once again, my only thing was, why wasn't Kip just there? But
Yeah.
I digress. I mean, it probably was filming things. I mean, this show was originally set, on it's a shoestring budget. Like it was it was not
Yeah.
supposed to be as insane, received as insanely as it has. So it was, I'm sure it was kind of a budgetary thing for actors, because they have to be paid for a certain amount, for certain days, and I mean, there's a lot of rules at play. So I'm kind of assuming that's maybe why he wasn't there, but I did like that they showed him, and he was with his friends and everything at the bar, and but at the same time, I was like, can we get to the cottage? How about the cottage? What's going on with the cottage?
I also wonder, because I did have a issue with the same thing. I wonder if it's also like a coverage thing. Like
Mm,
all the actors did all their coverage in the bar, and that
hmm.
was a convenient, again, a budgetary thing. So they're just like,
Yeah.
well, then they're watching it. And also Scott is kind of a private person anyways, but he
Yeah.
came out because that was like, again, necessary, and to do something so public, and it was like a romantic gesture. Um, so I don't know if that's kind of how I'm forgiving it, but I would have liked to see him, or to see Kip like in the backstage thing. We
Yes.
we could kind of see like a glance over, but there's only so much time. And also,
Right.
I'll bring this up because you'll probably know more than I will, but someone spoiled it because in the books. So I guess in the books, Scott says something like, he's basically going to be at the bar.
Mm.
So I wonder if they shot that stuff, but then in putting together the episode, they're
Oh,
like, we
and
don't have
editing
all
and
the
stuff like
time.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. Maybe that was the original plan, and then maybe it changed like halfway through. I mean, they filmed this in what, 36 days?
yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that can happen and a lot of stuff that can change. But if you're on an extremely tight budget, in any sort of production, it's really hard to go back and change anything else, because you kind of have to use your budget wisely, because like if you want to do
Mhm.
more in post, then you're going to have to save more money for post, which you can't spend as much on actual like filming. And who knows, there's a lot of possibilities, or things that could have been at play that we just don't know. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm not the only one who was kind of like, why wasn't Kip there?
Yeah.
But it didn't detract enough from what was going on that I was just like, oh, it took me out of it. Like it's not like, if that's
Yeah.
my only thing that would just kind of bugged me,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
then I'm taking it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is something which is not on this episode, and it's such a nitpicky thing, so I didn't bring it up. But like the tuna melt scene, basically, when they're both sitting on the couch, the actor that plays Hudson plays
Oh
Shane.
yeah, Hudson.
There's a scene like when where the shot's coming from behind him, and his hand is like on like the pillow or whatever, the
Oh
the
yeah,
couch
yeah,
pillow. And then on the other shot from the other side, his hand is like up here on the couch.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like those little things, but I'm like, Leslie, like no one's paying attention to where the damn hands are. Because you can tell it's two different edits from the cuts for coverage.
Right,
And I'm like,
right.
let it go. Like no one's paying attention
Exactly.
to that. Just these little
Once
things.
again, though, I mean, we're talking about a flaw in
Yeah.
our favorite show, but it doesn't detract from it at all. See, there's things wrong with the show. We're not like insane people that just love every single moment, but there's things in it for sure. And I'm gonna bring this up again, but the rickety ass table in his parents'
Yeah.
cottage.
Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, there are things in this, but it doesn't detract from the writing, the acting, the story. I mean, everything about it is just perfection.
So good. All right. Our
Nah.
boys. So Shane picks up Ilya from the airport. Um, and they're it's so funny. They have their glasses on. They're very tense. They're not necessarily like touching each other just yet. That happens like
Mm-mm.
only once Ilya is the one to say like that it's a terrifying feeling.
Yeah.
Do they both kind of break and like relax a little bit
Yeah.
and hold each other's hand? But again, it's like their hands are lower. It's not like anyone could see them outside that window. What are your
Mm.
thoughts on the scene?
I mean, I love it because this is the first time they're alone together in the daytime, which brings on a whole other level of their sort of relationship, because for primarily it's just been stolen glances, stolen touches, stolen nights, things like that. So I mean, if they were immediately like comfortable,
Yeah.
I think that would have been kind of like a how, like why? Because they're so used to this not being okay. And
Mhm.
I like, I appreciated that because they didn't just like play it off and been like, okay, we're fine. Because yeah, it is a scary thing. They literally are spending two weeks together for the first time. And that's the other thing is, I mean, before it's been, once again, stolen hours, and it's not been a solid block of time. Tessa,
Mm.
sorry. um, the
Oh,
beast.
I hope Tessa makes an appearance. Please.
Yeah.
I love Tessa so much.
Tessa.
Please, Tessa.
Come
I
on,
miss you,
baby.
Tessa.
Where is she? Casey here.
Tessa.
Tessa.
Tessa, baby. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Let's see.
Tessa.
There we go.
I love you.
Hi.
Sweet
See,
baby.
she's real, and it's a dog, not a person.
Thank you for indulging me. I love Tessa so much.
Of course.
She's my sweet baby.
But yeah, no, I think it played off perfectly, because yeah, I mean, they're terrified. They've never been together for this amount of time without knowing that, without the idea of someone else is going to be around them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also the again so much of their contact, no matter how much they feel for each other and there's chemistry there, they have very much tried to make it like transactional because it's stolen time. And
Mhm.
yeah, they haven't spent the night. There's this understanding of we do what we gotta do, and then bye, Hollander. So it's just
Yeah.
I just like that Ilya's the one, because I do think he's like a
Yes.
deep feeling character.
Yeah,
And
I mean, and he's always been the one. I mean, he was the one to originally initiate the relationship.
yes,
So yeah, it was just kind of fitting that he'd be the one that's like, okay,
yeah,
taking the next step.
yeah. And even I guess it's just I don't know. I just feel like there's like a level of trust that, I mean, Shane he's working towards earning that trust because he did leave him. I mean, he did like apologize several times, but it's still got to be
Yeah.
scary, even if he's invited to the cottage, because he's not sure what that
Yeah.
means until they really discuss it. Which brings me to this. I just bringing this in together. So I thought this is so funny.
I want to know if Connor has like had a big old fucking bruise from that. Sorry. Sorry, Logan. The bruise from running into the table.
Oh,
Oh.
Darkwing, yeah. I'm an insane person, LL. This show is perfection. Truly,
Yeah.
they took us through all the emotions. They did. They did this. I cannot believe how great. I mean, episode 5 was a juggernaut, but this one too.
And there
was
was
just like,
fun. And
yeah,
there was so much like playfulness in this one too, which I loved.
yeah, which is even like kicking off this. And I do like that Shane says like, "Do you want a tour?" Because I think that's kind of a little bit of a parallel to actually Skip
Mm.
when Scott basically
Oh
takes
yeah,
off his
yeah.
clothes and he's like,
He's
"Do you
like,
want a
I'll take
tour?"
four.
Or and he goes, "I choose."
Yeah, totally, totally.
Yeah, so they're doing something similar here. Um, and
I
again, I
love
like
how
the fact
awkward Shane was. It's like, I got you some Coke. It's
yeah,
like, what do
yeah.
I do? What do I do? What do I do? And once again, then it's Ilya who's the one who's like takes the first steps and it's like, okay.
And then yeah, because Shane is such an overthinker, so that means he's an overpreparer, trying to make sure he has food stocked, all these things, because
Right.
ultimately he wants Ilya to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
This again is hilarious. I had to stop on this moment of just like kicking over the lamp. And they have the giggles. I just like love this scene so much. But throughout this entire time at the cottage, and I feel like Shane's really setting the intentions here, just like he is in telling Ilya like sustenance is there, like all the logistics. I
Yeah.
feel like he's trying to navigate the logistics of like um this budding relationship and what it
Yeah.
means to be at the cottage, because even though Ilya again is initiating physically,
Hmm.
but Shane is, I feel like he's making such an effort ever since I think the last episode to just
Yeah.
really verbalize his thoughts and feelings, and even like, you know, sets like that intention and
Hmm.
agreement with Ilya. Like, while we're here, we're gonna be honest with each other, which I also love, because you know what? I don't think at any point this episode Ilya said that Shane was boring or that his dad is boring, but his body language teases that sentiment of
Yeah.
him, of the times that Shane says, "Oh, I have an idea," because I think it is like twice in the cottage. The first one is when they're here on the couch, and he says, "I
Yeah.
have an idea. Let's be honest." But just the faces that he makes, he's kind of like, "Oh."
But he's gonna like give into it and be like, yeah, absolutely. You know, it's so
Yeah, because
cute.
I think it's actually something that he wants. There's this
Yeah.
constant, like they're at the cottage. It's something that's relaxing, which Shane said, "I just want to relax with you for once," because they do have such an intense relationship.
Hmm.
But I feel like, once again, I just keep thinking of boring as a positive thing, right? But that
Right.
it's really just them being at peace with each other in a way
Yeah.
that I don't think Ilya has ever had in his life.
No.
Maybe from what we've seen in this episode, now we know he's just like had a trash experience with his family.
Right. Well, and I mean, anytime we've seen his family, it's been the dad, him wanting to take care of his dad, who had dementia, and then his brother just wanted to take. And Svetlana, well, yeah, she was a friend, but she also kind of had an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
She supported him. Don't get me wrong. I love her. I'm not saying
Mhm.
anything bad about her. But once again, it's just like this was kind of the first time I feel like Ilya could relax and take a step back and not have to like really give anyone anything because no one's asking anything of him. It was like, yeah, they're just there to relax. Like they're gonna have fun. They're gonna play video games. They're gonna, play football or soccer. Like just these kind of things. So yeah, this was kind of the first time you really see Ilya fully relaxed. And you see his personality way
Yeah,
more
yeah, I love
in
it.
this episode, which I love. But I will have to say,
So
he does
good.
call
Darfalina,
things
you're
boring.
correcting me. It was in the burger scene?
It was what? The burger scene.
When? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
I've seen it so many times and now I'm like,
so when he's talking about
when
his
was it
family,
when they were eating the burgers?
yeah. So and actually it's twice because he calls his dad boring
Oh,
because
okay.
that's
I'm
where
gonna
he
go
gets his
back. I'm gonna watch it
boring
again.
from.
Like I need another excuse.
Yeah, because when he's talking about Yuna and David, he's like, "Tell me about them," and then he's like, "I'm assuming your mom's like Japanese because that's where you get your looks from," and then he goes, "And then your dad, you get your boring from," and then the other thing too is when they're sitting on the couch and they have that that whole conversation, which we'll get to, but he does say boring car, like he does say he drives a boring car. So yeah, so it is brought up, but then again, it's used as a punchline at this point. Like, it's not, he's not using it in a negative connotation. It's, it's playful.
Hold on. My computer is a little bit slow here.
That's okay, sweetie.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. And you have your 1 second. That dog, I swear. She was a good emotional support animal to have with you, though, when watching the episode. She came over, and when I was crying, it was hilarious. Oh, she's gone. Oh, boy. I mean, did anyone else just like love this episode? Because I did. Hey.
Sorry, everyone. I don't know what's going on with my connection. But while we're trying to get back.
Are you back? I love it. Yeah. I absolutely cried.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
No, I can't hear you, sweetie.
All right, I'm going to kick my
God. I love the scene that wasn't in the books, but it absolutely was perfect for the show. Like, once again, it was just another nice little plus.
Can you hear me okay?
I can't hear you.
No? Hmm.
I can see you, but I still can't hear you. Oh, it's me. Okay. Let me try getting out and back in again. I'm the problem.
All right. Thank you everyone for being patient. I'm so sorry. That's the problem with going live. Could I just say that I watched way more than 3 times. I watched it on repeat from, I think it went on at 8:30 or something like that, and I fell asleep to it. It was just such a great episode. Oh, enter the studio. Let's see.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can hear you.
Yay!
Woohoo!
Thank you, everyone. I hope it'll be okay. So moving along, another example of like just their playfulness is the whole like bellboy routine
Oh my
to
God.
the bedroom.
Which is not, it
And
was, this was not in the books.
okay, that's, you see, this is why I'm so glad that we're doing this, because you have read the book, so we could just have those discussions about like what the differences are here. But there's just such a playfulness in these moments. Even though this moment wasn't in the book, was there like a sense of playfulness as well in the cottage section?
I mean, there was some. I don't think to the level that this was. But I feel like, once again, this was Ilya's kind of humor comes through a little bit more, like, once they do at the cottage. So I do feel like, there is a lot of kind of humor and play. But they really did play it up in the show. And once again, that's another like plus they added that I'm not like mad about at all.
Yeah, and I like that Shane goes to put the shades down, the blinds, and Ilya's like,
Nope. We're in the sunshine.
And the fact that the cottage is like complete glass. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the fact that I mean, it's so exposing. It's because it's glass. It's mainly glass, and I find that interesting because I think it was like during the Las Vegas hookup scene where like the glass windows, that was like such a concern for. Oh, it was end of episode 2, right?
Yeah.
That's what Shane was really concerned about and hesitant. He's like, there's a lot of windows. And so and it's not like they're on the bed. No, they're pressing themselves against the glass.
Well, okay. So
And so I just like that.
so this scene for me is almost shot for shot their first hookup.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
one of the things that Jacob Tierney did in this is he reused in a way all of these scenes, but in the sunlight. So it brought it from those dark, sort of seedy hotel rooms, and not seedy, I mean, they were gorgeous. But from all of these kind of dark places, and he repurposed them and put them in the light, and once again brought their relationship to the sunlight,
Yeah.
which I loved.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Yeah. A BJ in the dark, BJ in the sun.
You know?
And also there's, because I keep using the word transactional because that's just like so much of how they're treating their interactions. And I feel like even with this time in the cottage, although how you're pointing out there's like these parallels to what they're doing, there's also
Mhm.
like an emotional connection there. So even though it's like similar shots of like what they're doing, it feels like more open. It feels more like emotionally connected. So although those earlier parts of the show were so like fervent and intense,
Right.
this doesn't feel that way because it feels like more romantic. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's once again they were showing the progression of the relationship,
Yeah.
from yeah, like you said, those fervent sort of first meetings, which had an element of, I don't want to say hate, but it definitely had an element of sort of mutual animosity towards each other, just because of all the feelings that they were going through, and big feelings. It wasn't like it was these little things, like especially for Shane. He was like, oh wait, I guess I am into dudes. So I think I also, like you said, it kind of showed their maturity in in their relationship, to use these parallels too, which I
Yeah.
really loved. But yeah, I loved going back.
BJ's have no white
Yeah,
preference.
this is true. This is true. But yeah, so I loved how they utilized that. I Have you seen the movie Little Miss Sunshine?
Is
It's
that the
like
one where
Abigail
they go on a road trip?
Breslin's.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. So if you watch it, so you know how the van like slowly keeps falling apart, like as they're driving to all these different things, like this stops working, and then when they get to that kind of final penultimate scene, and they open the door and the
Yeah.
door falls off. Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. Steve Carell's so good. Um, so that is kind of a tool to show like how they are unraveling throughout the film. And it's just they're breaking down more and more and more and more, right up until that moment when she has that, when she's on stage and all this stuff happens and everyone goes crazy and stuff like that. And then at the very end of the movie, after everything happens and they go back to the car, the dad, they put the door back on the van, and then they slide in, they're like, okay, it's fixed. So like that is a little bit, it kind of equals for me what Jacob Tierney did in this show of using these parallels, because they showed all of these scenes, you see them kind of unraveling up until that point, just in their own turmoil. And then now all of a sudden the door's fixed, and like you get all of these scenes again in the sunlight, or you see the maturity of the relationship, and then you're like, okay, we're okay. And it's gonna be,
Yeah.
we're gonna go on from here. So I kind of
Yeah.
loved that use of using sunlight and the cottage, and kind of the parallels of using the scenes from the first couple episodes in this last episode. Like it's so good.
Yeah. So good.
We're
So
not.
good. All right. So, ooh, not the best shot, but that's the best I could do at the moment. And let's see. Um, so Shane decides that he's gonna make them burgers. And you know what I love
about
is
him
just
using a
like
recipe.
how yes, that's exactly the fact that he does things to a T, and it's again, it's the overthinker. The author has made like clarified because maybe she didn't really explicitly say it in the books. I haven't read them that Shane is autistic, and so
Yes.
there's just I think that that really speaks to I don't know if he's just on the show. If they're how do I say it? I don't know if maybe he's like undiagnosed because there's a lot of like him being very nervous and he just wants things to be like there's a perfectionist quality to him. And but it's all these little things that actually Ilya, for being who he is, really loves those things about Shane, all the ways that he's like boring, right? That I don't know, I just like I really love it. I think it's adorable, but I love that Ilya teases him about this, you know, but it's coming from like a place of love.
Yeah. Oh, no, no, totally. And uh there's also when they're playing soccer, and I think it's Ilya like knocks one of those little like orbs off a little bit from where it was, and then you can see Shane go over and fix it and put it back to where it was like immediately
Yeah,
after it happens.
yeah,
So yeah, no, there's absolutely that element, but yeah, you can tell. And I think it was the previous episode when he goes over before the game and they hook up, and he's asking him questions, and you can even see, which is another, kind of an autistic part of Shane. You
yeah,
can see like how Ilya responds when he's like, you ask too many questions. He's like, it's okay. Even though, Shane is like, oh, sorry, like he feels bad, then
yeah.
Ilya's like, no, it's fine. It's just no more questions. Like, it's such a great sort of, yeah, you can tell like he appreciates these aspects of Shane. He knows it's a part of who he is, and
Yeah.
that's something that he kind of loves.
Yeah. Oh, I love this show so much. Sleepless Bliss in Seattle. Such a great way to explain it. I've been trying to explain to people why I'm consumed by the show. It's so beautiful. Yeah, about the sunshine. The shirt, did you
Yep.
catch Ilya was wearing it on the couch? Yes, and Nerfelina says
Yes.
yes, yes. And okay, I'll say it now because we're gonna go over there eventually. But what I know, like the last time we talked, I mentioned Call Me by Your Name. This also reminded me of the book because I read I read the book of Call Me by Your Name, and they show it in the movie, but it's also you feel like an intimacy with the way that the characters exchange clothes
Yes.
as an extension of connecting and intimacy. And so I love that that was also displayed on this they did the last episode, but I feel like more so on this, just the exchanging of clothes because they're becoming like more connected to each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the tuna melt. That was
Yes. Yeah.
that was the black shirt. I mean, he literally stormed out wearing Ilya's shirt. I know. I know. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up.
I'm like, Shane.
that moment. But yeah, I loved that. And once again, you can tell like Shane, because Hudson, I always want to call him Hollander.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hudson. So one of the things Hudson talked about was the fact that he actually like muscled up way like during filming. So like you can tell a lot of the cottage scenes were filmed towards the end, or actually they were filmed at the end of production. And you can totally tell like he looks jacked, even more so than he did in the beginning. Because
Yeah.
my thing was like, initially in the tuna melt scene, Ilya's shirt was like big on him. You could
Mhm,
totally
mhm.
tell. But in this part, in the scene with the flannel, like that fit Ilya. So you could totally see like how far Hudson progressed with his, his muscles and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
funny.
feel like it might have been a little bit tight before.
Yeah,
But because he had gained so much muscle, it kind of fit. But that was so freaking cute. That was just a cute thing. I
just a
loved it.
sweet, sweet thing. So while they're eating, Ilya, in a gentle way, I think, which I like throughout this episode because he's aware that they're both trying to be open about their feelings. So they're both making the effort again to like verbalize their concerns or how they're navigating this time together. Ilya
Hmm.
asks about if Shane's parents know that he's gay, and then Shane basically blames him like it's his fault that he hasn't come out to his parents. Tell me what your thoughts about that.
Ugh. I got so
Oh,
mad
you're
at
so wrong
him.
with that, Shane.
I got so mad at him. I'm like, it's not his fault at all. And I think, and Shane says things when he's freaking out, and because Shane does have panic attacks, like he's had
Yeah,
them before, and Ilya has been there for them. So I think Ilya kind of knows a little bit,
yeah,
but I actually appreciated this specific conversation
yeah,
for, you know, eh, once again, it's them working on their relationship. It's them figuring out their relationship. And this is something that Shane needs to navigate in order for them to progress in this relationship. So I kind of, I liked how Ilya started the conversation and just kind of nudged him a little bit to be like, this is the next step you need to do. Like you need to be true to who you are. And they're both very much getting to the point where they are going, they're figuring themselves out and who they want to be at this point. And stubborn people or people who are ruled by fear, it's really hard to get us to do anything.
yeah,
Because we kind of go at our own pace. And I say we because I'm very much that
yeah,
same kind
yeah.
of personality.
But I
Um,
also think that when Ilya is doing this, I was thinking about yes, they're at the cottage, they're taking this step. Ilya is being brave by doing this, and he gained his courage by seeing what Scott did.
mhm,
But we as the audience, we know that him taking this big step forward um came from a very deeply real place because being in this potential relationship means he's going to lose his country. There's all these things that
yeah,
have
he has
large
a lot more
consequences.
on at stake.
Yes, and I feel like him bringing up Shane's parents, like if he's open, I almost feel like he does not, it's in the back of my mind, but I don't think he's trying to put this on Shane or anything. But I just feel like, what are we doing at the cottage for 2 weeks to move forward if you're not even going to come out to your parents, you know? But also, I
Yeah,
feel like he's not. I appreciated him because they do have that shot where his hand, he kind of like he backs off. He
yeah,
physically like backs off from the conversation once he could tell like he could only push so much.
right.
Um, because I think Shane has been very like at least open about how scared he is, you know, because he literally
Hmm.
left the last time he got scared. So
Yeah,
I appreciate like the kind of like pushing, the coaxing, but knowing when to back off. Because like you said,
yeah,
Shane has to do that on like on his own terms, or at least that's
yeah,
what we're we're hoping what would happen.
yeah. No, I know. That was the idea. That was
Yeah,
the ideal. But yeah, I mean, once again, you're seeing the progression of their relationship, and you know, this is the first time they've been able to kind of find the boundaries. They've been able to push, before, but they never really got to sort of complete, if that makes any sense,
Yeah.
complete what they were working on, because they both sort of freaked out in their own individual sort of situations,
Yeah.
which is another thing, and we'll talk about it when we get to the couch scene, because they're learning how the other one communicates, and they're learning what the other one needs. And and I think this was a perfect example of how Ilya has started to kind of understand who Shane is. And like you said,
Mhm.
he pushed him, but then he knew when he needed to back off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he's figuring out the boundaries.
Yeah.
And then for later there's another change in dynamic of then it's like Shane has figured out Ilya's sort of way of communication and stuff like that later in the episode. But yeah, I appreciated that.
Yeah. This
The scene that killed me. Oh, it's so
I
cute. And this was the final scene they shot.
yeah.
It just so
Um
good.
Talk about an emotional roller coaster that is the dialogue that I love so much on the show, because we have funny, we have open-hearted emotions, we have all the things in the scene. The moment about the loon, not knowing what a loon is, the wolf bird, as Ilya calls
Stupid
it,
Canadian wolf bird.
was absolutely hilarious. And this also felt like a moment that I was thinking about in terms of like, um, I I feel like it's in the back of like, or the tip of the tongue for Ilya to call a moment like this in front of a fireplace a boring moment.
Yes.
Because he was definitely exhibiting that,
Canada's
like, what do we
great.
do? Yeah, what do we do? We just sit here and stare at the fire, and it's very funny and interesting because it's like almost slightly dismissive, but it's like playful, and yet that's like when Ilya finds himself opening up so much, and instead he wants to stay there
Yeah. Yeah.
at the fire with him. So there's this whole like mini arc of just that scene and what that
Mm-hmm.
like that shift of what that means for Ilya. And
Yeah.
I think about like I know Shane is like an anxious person, but I feel like they relax into each other at the
Yeah.
cottage.
Well, and Ilya, once again, he's never been able to relax. He's
Yes.
either playing or he's going back to Russia, where when he goes back to Russia, everyone wants something from him.
Yeah.
It's constantly a take from him.
Yeah.
And this scene, once again, I feel like Iliad doesn't really understand how to fully relax, because he's just constantly wound so tight.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like he's kind of, like you said, it's kind of a playful sort of, jabbing of, oh, Canada's fun, sort of thing. But honestly, I think it's because Ilya just doesn't understand, because he's never really been able to get to that point where he can sit in front of a fire for an hour or whatever and just relax and just
Yeah.
kind of unwind. And so I think for him, he uses humor as a shield,
Yeah. Yeah.
which and that's what he's used in previous episodes. It's always been, whenever there's a situation, he's always reverted to humor. Just like the previous episode when Shane goes over to the hotel to have the I think I'm gay conversation. you
Yeah.
know, he's like, oh, this looks serious. Like, it was because he's like, oh, something's going on. This is going to be a deep discussion. So let me put on my battle armor.
Yeah.
So I feel like at first, I think it kind of was a little bit of Ilya's sort of putting on my armor, like, what's going on here, what, sort of thing. And then, yeah, and then kind of Shane helps to coax it out of him and kind of helps break down his barriers. And, then we get the most beautiful scene in the history of everything. I love this.
Yeah, the fact that and even the way that Ilya opens up and says what happens to his mother,
Mm-hmm.
he can't even say what really happened. He frames it as an accident
Right.
because I feel like for me, I guess like in terms of like projecting, sometimes when really things are really hard to say, you're gonna navigate your way there because
Yeah.
it's a tough
It's
thing to say
trauma.
out loud. Yeah.
No.
Um anyways, that was just like really beautiful. And I felt like because Ilya gets up to a place where he's opening up and like you're saying, like starting to take down that armor, that opens up their relationship more. I also think for Shane to be vulnerable because they're trying to like reciprocate that vulnerability with each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, and I mean, in the long game and kind of in the future, his mom is a part of this story. So, yeah, it's I appreciated how they sort of coaxed it out of him, and like you said, brought kind of his armor down, and I love that sort of you could just tell he was so relaxed and he opened up and he became so vulnerable and he wasn't scared. I mean, aside from the stupid Canadian wolf bird, but I loved the simplicity of it and just how vulnerable it was, but it also was kind of I'm gonna say it warm.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but no,
There was a spark.
I felt like it was a warm, safe place,
Yeah.
and it just to a point where Ilya felt it was okay to kind of open up. And yeah, I mean, he still didn't fully come out and say, she took her own life.
Yeah.
He in his mind, he's a 12-year-old who found his mom and is like, oh, she accidentally took too many pills. and
Yeah.
and that's and like I said, I mean, this kind of will come out more in the following seasons,
Mhm.
just specifically about his mom, which I fully appreciate. And the long game
Or
is so
just
good.
or just how heartbreaking it is for him to say, "I don't want you to think my mom was weak."
Weak.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I also don't know if that's, because there's stigma everywhere, but I don't know if it's like also
Right.
specific to like Russian culture, maybe.
Oh, I'm sure.
So I
I'm
also felt,
I'm sure.
yeah, I felt like that's another layer of, my mind spins. Um, his dad's dead.
Yeah.
His brother treated his dad and his brother treated him badly, and they also treated the mom badly.
Hmm.
And he even says about his mom, like, she was beautiful, she was funny, she was sad. And even the way that he's describing her, I felt like that was probably the only person he could relate to because that person also sounds very much like Ilya. And so I felt like, I don't know what my mind just goes to, well, that was probably the one person he could relate to. And she
Hmm.
died when he was 12, you know? Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the idea of exploiting weakness, because
yes.
they in that culture, like, it very much is, survival of the fittest, the strongest. And it's, at this point, it sounds like the mom was not, she had her own mental health issues.
Yeah.
And I'm guarantee, and like he said, his dad was awful to her. And so, and the brother, I bet your bottom dollar followed suit.
Yeah.
So, just the fact that Ilya's bringing this up, because it's a huge part of him. And I bet he does have the personality of his mom, you know?
Yeah. And this also gives me context to, I think it was like in episode 2, because I don't know, I kind of thought like, oh, maybe the mom's dead. But in, I think it was like episode 2, there's that moment where Shane is at his friend's house,
Mhm.
watching the game when Ilya wins, and he holds the award up, and like the camera's on him, and he says, "We did it, mama." So he's
Yeah.
not saying, he doesn't mention his brother, he doesn't mention his dad, he mentions his mom, you know? So that really, we see like the impact of who he's even reaching out to at like at those joyful moments, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. Oh, so
Cheers me up.
good. So
Or was
good.
that? Hey, join the club. I'm guilty of that
Humor,
humor
yeah.
too. Deflection to get us through.
This is the sarcasm club?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so strong. Like, it's immediate. Hudson and Connor's chemistry, like,
Yeah.
they had no problems. I have seen behind the scenes stuff of other, shows where there's no chemistry between the two lead actors, and it's painful, it's forced, and this you can totally tell it's natural, like breathing
Yeah.
for them.
Love them. Definitely specific to his culture.
Culture. Yeah.
So sad. Yes, the scene was so heartbreaking, and now, yes,
Yeah.
he was his rock support. And then he doesn't have that
Not since he was 12.
Yeah.
Which
Maybe.
once when we'll get to it at the end of the episode, because it's like the family meal.
Yeah. Sorry, I had like a weird commercial pop up. I was like, that's weird. But then after that, the very next morning, the fact that they get to the point where they're saying, I like you, because again, as you're talking about that humor and deflection, and how earlier Ilya said, I like, I hate you. Like, that's how they.
Oh, you speak bird now?
Yeah. Yeah. To get to a place where it's like, that's how much growth they actually really need to go to when we as the audience know they love each other. They're like head over heels with each other, but they're just getting to I like you mutually, which is like, yeah, yeah, you do.
Duh. I could have told you that a long time ago. But yeah, I loved that scene. It was so sweet and just so like quiet. I loved the quiet moments of this episode.
Yeah, very, very sweet. I'm trying to think about what from the next scene could I show. So it's gonna take me a second. Then after the I like you, we have this hilarious.
It was so good.
This is the most hilarious.
Oh my god. That man had a lot of faith in the mute button. I'm just saying.
Oh my god. I was trying to pause it on the when he does the hand thing where he's just
Oh
like,
my god.
so funny.
Which one?
Yeah. Oh my god. So hilarious.
So this scene, which I know you've been watching all the videos that I have too, about the fact that a lot of the stuff in that specific scene was very much the two of them just kind of improvising.
Yeah.
And I love that because once again you're seeing the playful side.
Yeah.
Like Ilya for sure uses humor as an armor, but he is also super playful at his core. And once again, it's a cultural thing where they just only show toughness all the time. And then it takes a lot to get kind of to who that person actually is. And so once again, we've gone past sort of the armor Shane has. So now you're seeing more of the like playful side of Ilya, and this scene is just perfection. It's so good.
And I really can't, because I can't show it. So I just thought to say I find it so funny because throughout this entire show, really early on, they've gotten a lot of praise for how they handle displaying consent in like in those scenes. But now I feel like they're so comfortable with each other, they kind of know, because I feel like if I verbalize it, it's going to sound problematic, but it's not because of where they're at in their relationship. But Shade is saying no, but he has like a smirk on his face. But if I say that out loud, this sounds like the most problematic thing of you say no, but you mean yes.
You look like you're saying yes.
Yeah.
No, 100%, 100%. But yeah, they do know each other now. And they know, like, if Shane really meant it, he would have legit been like, stop. You know, he would have stopped because he was laughing. He was, it was, him saying like, don't do it. You could totally tell was with a wink and stuff like that. And I mean, just Ilya's like, okay, fine. I won't touch you, but if you get hard, then
that's what I love. This is what, because it made me laugh so hard, because I'm like, this is definitely like boyfriend behavior. Like, you can't get away with just doing this with anyone. The fact that he like points down, he's like, you're ready to go?
Yeah, he's like,
green light. Green light. I'm telling you, anybody else tried doing that, that would not work.
No way.
Not sexy, okay? Because they're so playful with each other.
Right.
It's just hilarious. He finds it funny. And I know Jacob Tierney has talked about like, even in the scripts, those explicit scenes are like detailed because they want to communicate what's going on, and they have an intimacy coordinator and stuff like that. But yeah, I read the same thing that you did, that like the slapping was not in there. So it was something that like they discussed, and as long as Hudson was okay with it, because that's the other thing, is even though it's improvised, they still talk about it like, hey, what are you comfortable with? And I just find it hilarious. Like, that was, again, horny and hilarious all at the same time. That's kind of like what you would do to someone, where you would grab the hand and slap them and be like, stop slapping yourself. That's how it felt.
Totally. Which we all know Hudson is a freak and absolutely loved it. So from his own words, people.
Yes. But it was just so hilarious. I don't know what else to add other than that was like, I've never seen something that funny and intimate and playful on screen before,
No, it's always been passion forward.
Yeah.
Like, in every single thing that you've ever seen a sex scene, it's always been passion or out of hatred, because that's another thing that is often sort of portrayed. But yeah, this was kind of the first time that you've really seen just pure fun in it. And once again, like, if Shane was not into it, Ilya would have stopped. But they were just there to have fun. And yeah, I loved, once again, you got to see the humor of, just who Ilya is now, once you've gone past his kind of barriers. But yeah, I loved that scene so much. It was so perfect. Yep.
But what I like from that interaction is that they're giggly and they're talking. Shane is talking about like how hot that was. They're both into it. But once again, throughout this episode, I almost feel like Shane will take a breath to pause the situation. He does it really early on when he brings Ilya to the cottage. they talk, and then what does Ilya initiates like the physical part of it, but then Shane stops it to be like, look, he's like trying to set the boundaries and communication and everything.
Right.
And so what I love about this is as soon as Ilya says like, well, you like being bad, Shane is really quick to put a pause on this moment because he really wants to keep just resetting and letting Ilya know the intention of them being together at the cottage, which is, yeah, we used to be this naughty thing that was hidden, but we're not that now. And so I like that he's constantly like trying to make sure that he's trying to reassure Ilya,
Yeah.
even if Ilya is being playful. He wants to just like make sure it's almost tapping into the vulnerability again. Whenever it's
Yeah.
like they're towing a line with each other, this like a little bit of a tug and pull,
Yeah.
keep them aligned in a way. I don't know what you thought about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, once again, he stopped the kind of the playfulness that, like we said, if he was not down for the BJ, then he would have stopped it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was like, he wants Ilya to know, like, no, this isn't bad. This isn't bad to me anymore. This is
Yeah.
something I want. This is serious. I enjoy this. And, well, yeah, they were having fun and everything. He just wanted to make sure, like, not, I don't mean bad in the sense of what it was before, because it was kind of forbidden. Sorry, the beast is she's
Tessa?
she's mad. Yes. She's like, you're not
Oh,
cuddling me. It's been literally 5 days of nonstop cuddles. But yeah, like he's going to the point where he's like, it was forbidden before. So yeah, it was bad. What we were doing was maybe bad, not in the, oh, it was kind of forbidden, but now he wants to make sure, like, yeah, it was bad, but not in a forbidden sense. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
I want this. I loved this,
Yeah. We could be kinky without needing to be feeling like there's a problem, you know?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everyone relate to this almost. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so
Most.
beautiful.
Who does everyone relate to the most?
Who does everyone relate to the most? Oh,
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
oh my God.
I like, I know I'm I'm on the spectrum in some ways. I'm high functioning for sure, but I do know I am on the spectrum. So like I do identify a lot with the overthinking and the sort of
Yeah.
organization and everything has a place sort of idea of Shane and how he approaches things. But I also have Ilya's humor in
Yeah.
a lot of ways, and it is an armor. So I mean, I'm actually kind of a mixture of the both of them. But I think I do kind of identify more with Shane in a lot of ways.
Yeah. I wish I could say something different, but I basically am on the same page with that. Yeah. I don't have like the bravado of Ilya. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's definitely like a deflection, or I think sometimes it's really hard to take like compliments. I
Mhm.
immediately have to like just to be vulnerable. I have to like deflect or make it like I have to like humble myself instead of just take it.
Yeah.
And I'm in my 40s. I still don't know how to fix that. Like I still do it to this day.
Yeah.
And I know it's like not a good thing, but it's really hard to change that. Also because of like the way Ilya's dad would talk down to him. I kind of feel like it just gets hard set in yourself as someone that grew up having all that like negative talk. So
Yeah.
then
You're
it's almost,
programmed.
yes. So almost when I hear a compliment, instead of it making me feel good, it makes me feel bad
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not what I'm used to. And I'm like, no, 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 you have to do the other thing. And I don't know. So I think a lot of there's a lot of things with Ilya that I relate to, but then I also have like
Mhm.
I don't think I don't know if Shane would feel this way, but I definitely have like quite a bit of like social anxiety that it doesn't always happen, but sometimes it just gets triggered and I get like frustrated with myself because then I have like nonverbal issues a little bit.
Yeah,
But so it's definitely it's a mix. It's a doozy. I relate to them both.
totally.
Sleepless in Seattle. I relate to Ilya. I grew up in a home like his, and I use humor like him. Yeah, and
Yeah.
yet also, I'm witty and sarcastic in a good way. Not,
Not
yeah,
me.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
fine line for sure.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I hear you. Oh, I hear you. We're getting through it. Which brings us to this whole scene. I was trying to figure out which like screenshot to pick because there's
That's
again
perfect.
just like with the fireplace scene.
Hmm.
God, this episode, the fact that there's a whole episode of them, if you say it simply, it's an oversimplification, right?
Yeah.
Two people at a cottage, but there's so much going on. And so this moment actually does feel like as far as like the emotional roller coaster of the dialogue reminded me just that it was just as important and intense as in front of the fireplace. Um is this moment. Yeah, and the toe touching.
Oh my God. I can't. That was so cute.
They were like,
That was more. But like, so this is kind of what I was referencing earlier, the
yeah,
scene of how Shane has learned how communicates and how he
yeah,
talks, because Ilya still kind of approached the topic the same way he did in the tuna melt scene,
yeah,
by just kind of like talking about the girls and all of this, and
yeah,
where that kind of freaked Shane out. Like, he wasn't really able to process because he didn't really understand what Ilya
yeah,
was saying in that time. Like, he kind of was like, oh, you could see on Shane's face in the tuna melt scene when they were having that sort of discussion about the girls and stuff like that. Like, you could tell he just was like, ew, why are you telling me this?
yeah,
But in the couch scene, like, now you can see, I mean, Shane still is affected by how Ilya's speaking and what he's saying,
yeah,
but Shane is still pushing through the conversation, and he's
yeah,
not running away because he's starting to understand how Ilya communicates and
yeah,
how he brings a subject up and what he's talking about, but what he's really talking about. So
yeah,
I love that scene because it's where before you kind of saw Ilya figuring out how to speak to Shane and have a harder conversation. This is now Shane is figuring out how to have a harder conversation with Ilya in this scene. So it kind of was like you said, it's just all of these roller coaster of emotions.
yeah,
But I love that. I love that scene.
yeah. It's just like a intense opening up, right? Like Ilya said at the fireplace, oh, we're just in front of the fireplace, right? But then he opens up so deeply. And then here, they're just two guys chilling, doom scrolling on their phone, but it's like more than that, right? And
Right.
I think that all the things that you said, but also Shane stays in it because he's accepted himself and he is
Yeah.
self-aware to know that he wants to be with Ilya,
Yeah.
that he's not going to run away, even if he
Right.
feels it, even though he's like feeling like intensely hurt and
Yeah.
he's trying to keep his composure. He is
Yeah.
like taking that breath and being like, you can see, oh my God, this actor with his eyes, he's just like, you can see it's all there.
Hudson is the literal emoji of the, like, the tear swelling emoji. Like,
Yeah.
that's Hudson. And I have officially replaced my tear swelling emoji with a sticker of Hudson, by the way. So just be prepared.
Yeah.
Hudson, and okay, just as it was Connor Story's episode for episode 5,
Yeah.
episode 6 is Hudson's.
Yeah.
100%. It's Hudson's episode,
Yeah.
and just how well he excelled at that. But yeah, I know the little I can't Hudson, you kill me. You kill me.
Yes. And the comfortable silence. Yes, I love
Silence.
that.
Yes.
Yeah. Which only like a relationship could get to, you know?
Right.
And
Right.
and also in that conversation, here's the thing. Yes, Ilya kind of repeats talking about women.
Hmm.
He fucking does it the worst way. And he's talking to someone that takes things like so he talks around things. Ilya talks
Yeah.
around things to get to what he wants to say because
Yeah.
it's such a vulnerable thing. And so I think that's also part of the thing because that doesn't translate well for Shane, right? He
Right.
needs more direct.
Yes.
Um, and although he sits there and he hears it, I think that the other part that's scary for Shane, even though he hears the compliment of I have this problem, I can't stop thinking of this hockey player with a weak backhand.
The slow hockey player.
But what he also hears that is touchy, I think is touchy for Shane, is he hears the word problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a touchy thing because Shane has felt himself being gay is a problem.
Right.
Um,
Right. The whole conversation with Rose.
yes, and Rose
Yeah.
needing to tell him there's
That's
there's nothing to fix,
that's
there's
not a
no problem.
problem.
And
Yeah.
so I understand that it's a compliment and Ilya's trying to communicate something to me, but I
Hmm.
could still feel like even though Shane is hearing the compliment, there's still that like feelings of being scared. There's still fear there
Yeah.
when he asks, "Do you want that problem to go away?"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
which just like fucking hurt me.
Like you could see it. Sorry, my hair is falling out. You can see just how terrified he was to ask that question because he's like,
Yeah.
"Do you want it to go away?" Like that is a scary. He's putting himself out there in this
Yeah.
conversation, and he's literally like, "Do you want me to go away? Like what?" You know what?
Yeah.
But I love, once again, it's how Ilya communicates, and and especially on all these big feelings, and it's like now it's like, yeah, no, I don't want this problem to ever go away,
Yeah.
and it's just so
Love
good.
them.
Little feetsies. I can't. I can't.
I read an interview with the actors and Connor's story. He didn't remember about the toe touch. And because
The
like they're just
Hudson did.
and I'm like, man, that must have been so natural to not even remember it. Oh my
Well,
god.
I mean, once again, it's the chemistry.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the automatic chemistry these two people had.
Yeah.
And, that it very much, it sounds like the cottage scene, or the cottage episode specifically, had a lot of their sort of input on the characters, a little more so than previous episodes. And I think they brought just their own chemistry, as Hudson and Connor, to Ilya and Shane. And so
Mhm.
there was kind of a combination of, the two, or technically the four people,
Mhm.
into what we see on screen. So that's so cute. I can't believe Connor didn't remember that. That's cute.
Dude, love them, love them. All right, so we're gonna be on this next one. I'm gonna try to two different two different shots because there's a lot going on here.
Oh gosh.
This
Okay.
okay, so a couple of things. One, the way that Shane stayed up at night, there's a couple of things. First, yes, he's concerned because Ilya's brought up the passport when they're playing the kind of like hitting
Soccer.
a ball together. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then brought it up on the couch. He's trying to find like a solution. And so Shane staying up all night really speaks to my overthinking heart, but also reminded me of him and his mom.
Yes, like and especially, you know, at the one of the final scenes when she's like, "What's the plan?" Yeah. No,
Yes.
and so this is the thing is Shane is not a planner.
Mm.
Not in a lot of ways.
I
He's
mean,
one
yeah.
he has
Long-term
a
emotion.
momager for a reason, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and he's like he will absolutely hype people up, take care of people, you know, on the team. That's why he's captain, but he follows orders. If you kind of think about that, because the coaches, you know, they're the ones that are telling him like, okay, do this. Yeah, you have to make decisions when you're on the ice because nothing goes to plan. But he's more what's going on right now. He
Mm.
doesn't think and plan ahead. That's just
Mm.
not who he is as you know, a person. And so just the fact that this was something he felt he needed to come up with a plan just
Yes.
makes it proves just how big it is for him and what it means to him. And to have him sit up planning and thinking that far in the future, you know, is it speaks volumes because that's just not who Shane is as a person.
Yeah. And also, I'm gonna just show this again. This also felt like it hit me emotionally just as much as last week's episode when Ilya said, "Oh, Shane, don't do this to me."
Yeah.
When Shane says, I think I like you a little too much, because I feel like it's another barrier coming down when
Yep.
Ilya is getting he's getting validated here
Hmm.
that Shane thinks about him and their future just as much as he does.
Yes.
Even though he's scared and he feels like he doesn't know, he has all these feelings and he doesn't know what to do with them because
Yeah.
he doesn't dare let himself think that they could have a future because
That
it's
it's a
just
possibility. Absolutely.
yes, yes. It's just like it's not something that could ever really exist for him, you know?
Hmm.
It makes you cry.
I know. I love the scene so much. And it just once again, yeah, it's Ilya really bringing down his armor and his barriers and just being at the core of, you know, who he is. And I mean, as we already know during his Russian monologue in the previous episode, like he loves him. You
Yeah,
know he loves Shane.
yeah,
And you know, he felt like he feels like he can't that yeah, he can't want to have a future with him. He can't have that hope. He doesn't if he has hope, then he's going to want it. And
yeah.
so it's an armor. It's, you know,
Mhm.
he's purposely and throughout the entire season, that's what he's done is he's purposely put obstacles in the way of what he truly wants. And that's why, you know, he would do things that would hurt Shane and you know vice versa. Shane freaked out because they're too big feelings, you know, these feelings are way too big. So once again, how can I do something that will hurt the other and make it okay? And so yeah, so like this scene is the fact that Shane is like, you know, I have a plan, like this is the plan. It's finally Ilya has no other option but to admit what
Yeah,
he
yeah.
feels. He's
But
like, I
even like
can't, there's nothing else I can put in between us at this very moment.
mhm.
There's nothing I want to put between us at this very moment. And so he makes that decision. And it's hard. It's a hard friggin' decision.
And even like in this episode, he turns away and we can see that he's crying, and that's exactly what he did the last episode. When after
Hmm.
he says, "Don't do this to me," he has to turn away because he's trying to hold it in and he
He,
can't anymore.
right. He doesn't want to show weakness. Once
Yeah.
again, it's a cultural thing. He can't show weakness because
Yeah.
when he does, he is programmed to expect backlash, harm, anything, negative back from showing any kind of emotion. So yeah, he will look away, but this is just so sweet.
Yeah, the scene broke me.
Yes. Oh my God, the whispering in Russian.
Yeah,
Russian
romantic.
100%. It is a harsh language when you listen to it in a lot of ways, but
yeah,
Connor's stories just makes it romantic.
Yeah, and then just what got to me is that in the scene he's received the validation from Shane. He
Sorry.
Stay alive. Tessa needs you. That he's Shane has heard Ilya say like I want you to I don't ever want this problem to go away. And now Ilya has heard Shane say like I think about our future so much it scares me.
Yeah.
Which really like taps into like why he ran away, like an episode by the end of episode 4, I think.
4. Yeah.
And so what I love about this now is that he's finally like this fully breaking down and telling Shane in Russian first, which I love because I feel like he's working up towards it. Like it's easier for him to say in Russian before he says it in English.
Yeah.
And just that like vulnerability and that pause, because I think Shane's taking it in. Because I mean, if Shane had paused a beat longer, I think this would have like spiraled into a problem. But because Ilya says, I mean, like he's almost gonna back
talk, which he's done before, which he has absolutely done before, and that's I think so, probably. Like that's just how he speaks. Is he kind of says something, he kind of maybe fears that he stepped over a line, like he said too much, and so then he will automatically start to backpedal even though he doesn't need to, and like this case he didn't need to.
Yeah.
But I love you too.
Yeah. Kills me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, just it's so raw and just so pure and so sweet.
It was just so sweet, and the fact that they're just like confessing it and like holding on to each other, and the fact that Ilya just breaks down in tears, which really just speaks to like he was just holding on to so much,
right,
and it just like finally that dam burst, right, emotionally. I was like, I love them so much.
And just Shane is like, holy shit.
Yes, I did. Yes.
It's so good. It's so good.
I'm eating up everything my algorithm is all both these actors.
It's a heated rivalry bubble, and I do not want to leave it. I'm like, I as I told you earlier, my football team was playing tonight, but I'm like, I'm not ready to leave my heated rivalry bubble. I want to stay in it. I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I have to go back to work tomorrow. I don't want to do that. I just want to stay in my heated rivalry bubble because it's safe and beautiful.
Yeah. When he spoke in the accent, Evan almost made I would too. I would almost wait too. Okay.
It's like, yeah, this boy from Texas should not be able to do what he does.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane. No.
Do you want to talk about this?
My God. Okay, I just, once again, I'm going to repeat myself, but how Jacob Teirney uses sun, just in general. Sunlight, bringing the relationship into the sunlight. Episode 5.
It might as well feel like a season because that's what this did to me.
Episode 5. They meet on the beach and they're watching the sunset. And they're watching the sunset on their relationship before that moment and how they were treating each other. And that's when things started to change. So them sitting on the beach was the start of the end for how their current sort of situationship sort of thing that they had going on, the sun is setting on that because
Yeah.
it's starting a new phase in their relationship. And then come to episode 6, after you've kind of navigated through all of these things and they finally got to the I love you part, then they go out and they watch the sun rise on this new phase of their relationship. So I just like utilizing sunshine, utilizing that, and just what it means to their relationship is just so beautifully done. It's so beautifully done. It kills me. It's so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. Darfelina, my algorithm is full of Connor story posts. It's been all yeah. Yeah, baby.
I don't want
We've
it to
been fed.
change. He absolutely is unbelievable.
It's incredible. Yeah, I really love that. And okay, this is another thing. This is the first show ever where I don't want to see the behind the scenes, because I accidentally saw behind the scenes of last episode where they're on the beach
Oh, and
realized
it's not the beach?
on the beach. I'm like, don't you dare. Don't come in my algorithm. It's a screen. You can hear the director saying, 2 inches to the right or whatever.
Right.
Like, it doesn't
They're like setting it up.
I was hurt. I had my feelings hurt. I was so upset. I could see the camera that's being directed. I never want to know that the scenery is not real. It hurt my feelings. But yeah, I love that. I love that Shane brings out a blanket and they're just like cozying up together, and he's still doing what Shane doesn't like, smoking a cigarette.
I know. I know. It's so good though. I know. It's so sweet.
The wink. Yeah,
The wink.
Sleepless. I agree. Some of the
Yeah.
rooftop I was upset too. I'm with you on this. Yes. Do not break up my fantasy. I know they're fictional characters. I just don't need to see the inner workings. And I when I'm in something, like again, like Darfelina knows I'm like so obsessed with Interview the Vampire,
Mhm.
but I want to know everything. I want to see all the behinds. I want to know the whole enchilada.
Naked seesaw and everything.
Yeah, I want to see naked seesaw. But on this show, I'm like, don't give it to me. Don't give it to me.
Yeah.
I'm not asking for that promo.
Totally.
I'm just here for the show and all the promo. I haven't seen any of them by the way.
Yeah, don't do it.
Something I want to talk about, but I can't. It's like too racy for. I don't want to get taken down. So I'm.
Oh,
we're gonna
God.
go. We're gonna get here.
I can't. This is that scene in that specific. I can't handle. It's too big for me. It's too big.
That okay. I'll say before we go. We're leading there.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I have so many grand feelings and firsts for this. I definitely think that was right before that when they're being intimate. That has to be the most loving, intensely intimate scene I have ever seen displayed. But like these actors, because they're just they've I guess this kind of speaks to what I said earlier, which is that the first 2 episodes again is very intense, sexual, but it's like transactional. And in this scene, there's a desire, but there's like so much love in it.
Yeah.
There's so much romance in it.
It's
and it's
loving.
just different. It's loving. And I love that Shane says something so beautiful. He's like, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, so it's almost like this is the dream, because this is how much I love this, you know?
Yeah, I want it to be real. And I mean, because this is another, again, once again, this is another parallel to a previous scene. But it's just, you go back, and that's the thing is, if you go back and watch the original scene with and then watch this one, it's night and day.
Yeah.
It's very much like, uh, it's so different. Yeah, the scene is very similar.
The
The how they're
action.
laying and everything, that's very similar to what the scene is. But now you're adding these feelings, and now you're adding, the loving part of their relationship into the scene, and it completely changes the context of their lovemaking at this point. And
Yeah.
it's just so, yeah, it's so sweet. And like you said, that question of, is this real? And, how did we get to this point? And, all of that is just so, so sweet. It's so sweet.
Yeah. There's just like it's a different intimacy.
Hmm.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Starfelina, she would have
So,
loved
oh
you.
God,
Yes.
don't.
Incredible.
I'm gonna cry.
I have been sleepless in Seattle. I have been walking around with butterflies. I feel a new pep in my step. I feel like I've crossed over something amazing and I can't explain it. Yes. Yes.
100%. 100%. Like, yeah,
Does
it's
it feel like
like,
hope?
it's giving you hope. Yeah. It's it's the same way that Schitt's Creek did for me
Yes.
in, the 2020 and the final season and all of that. Like, to me, it's the same thing. It's a safe place. It's a
Yeah.
safe place to have emotions and to feel things, and without a fear of reprisal, from what's going on. But that scene and that specific,
Yeah.
she would have loved you like I love you. Like, I can't. It's so, ugh. And especially, when you read the books, it just, ugh, it's so big. It's so big that he said that, and so sweet. And yeah, it kills me every time. Every time I've rewatched the episodes, like, it kills me every time. It's so good.
Yeah. And just how tender, how sweet, how caring Shane is to come with that idea because he does
Hmm.
want this. He had said earlier he really wants this foundation to be something real. That's something
And
that they
something
really
special to the
care
both of
about.
them. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And for him to really listen to Ilya and what he's been through
Hmm. Hmm.
and to have a memory of Ilya's mom live on
Hmm.
through this, knowing
Hmm.
that um yeah, the fact that that this is where they're headed because what other connection can Ilya have to his mother now? Because once he can't go back to Russia, he'll never be able to go see her grave,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
he it's just not something he could do. So this is like a way of carrying his mother with him
Yep.
here. So
Yeah.
good.
No, I know. And honestly, it's like, it was the sweetest, oh God, just special moment from, the book and in the show. Like, it was treated with so much respect. And oh God, it's so, it's so special. That scene honestly is my favorite scene of the entire show, and maybe series, honestly. Like, just how sweet and special it was, because yeah, it showed Shane was listening, and Shane wanted to do something special for him, and something that would be special for Shane as well. And just, once again, planning, thinking, it just shows such a level of love on Shane's behalf. And it just, oh,
Yeah. It's
so
just
good.
it feels like a way of caring, of taking care of Ilya in that way.
Exactly.
It's like a
Exactly.
healing, something very healing,
Yeah.
um, in that. For someone to say, like, "I don't want you to think she's weak," and then to come up with this idea, it's just, like, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, oh my god. Trying to keep it together.
I can't. Yeah. Okay. Why was Shane not playing mermaids with Ilya?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And I just honestly, I love the fact that that was the next scene
Yeah,
after everything they went through, like the sweetness of that, and it just goes to playful Ilya in the lake doing a headstand. Like, it's so good. It's so good.
yeah, yeah, definitely not. It's just it's so cute, and so that's what I love about, like, we are on this, like, beautiful emotional roller coaster with them the whole time,
Mhm.
but it's not terrifying. It's fun, it's
Mhm.
beautiful, it's playful, it's, emotionally just riveting. And so,
Yes.
yeah, we're constantly having these deep moments and then funny moments, and then deep moments and then funny moments that they're kinda, like, navigating us through.
Mhm.
And so I love this scene because, a couple of reasons. Like, for this is someone that's now they've said they love each other, so now Ilya is, like, verbalizing and saying, "Give me a kiss," when by the end of episode what is it, episode 2?
They
Shane
didn't
was
even kiss.
they didn't even kiss, and
Yeah.
that was something that, um, you know, I I haven't read the book, but I just feel like by that time, I keep coming back to the fact that by the end of episode 2, it was just so intense, but also, yes, transactional and no kissing and, not just totally ghosting Shane to getting
Mhm.
to a place where they both had said, like, "Okay, we're in love each with each other.
Yeah.
Now you're getting all the kisses."
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's such a great it just shows how far they've come in their relationship and, where they are, cuz yeah, they're having fun. He's chilling out, and I love what that he brings up the documentary that he watched. It's like, "Oh, so is this where you do yoga, down here or up there?" And then once again, Ilya being a dick. Being like, "Oh, I needed to sleep, so I put it on." Like,
Yeah.
it's so ridiculous.
In the scene, though, there was a very important foreshadowing right at this moment that gave away what was gonna happen
The
next.
phone.
Yes, when he
Yeah.
says, "Oh, yeah, you left your phone. It's been ringing
And
all
then
morning."
off. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's when I knew. That's when I knew
I was
what was
like,
coming.
"Ooh." Yeah, the foreboding feeling kind of popped up because, yeah, at this point you're like, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
and it does. And it was this is as far as of a horror movie that I will go in that one specific shot.
Yeah, that's what's so like, what a compliment to a shot
No.
because 'cause as soon as
Yeah.
we're inside and the
Yeah.
camera slides, I was like,
Yes.
it's coming," only because it got
You
tipped
know
off
it.
of the phone. I was like,
Oh, and the second you just see it. Oh my god. Oh my god.
definitely didn't see it coming. And and it felt like this is romance, but it felt like from a horror movie where there's a jump scare, but I would have to say once again, this has been like the most effective use of a jump scare I've ever seen because usually it's like from the side when jump scares and you kind of um
Mhm.
you could tell it's going to happen from the camera angle that they use.
Mhm.
This one just felt very slick. Like we're inside, they're outside, and it's just like, you know,
It was so well done. And I mean, a lot of people yelled no. Oh, totally. I screamed at the TV. Which Tessa is a very empathetic dog. Like, she reacts to what the humans are feeling. So like if I'm in the car and I get road rage, which I don't know what I'm talking, I'm perfectly fine as I yell at people all the time. But she'll come from behind and then she'll give
Yeah.
me kisses on my cheek because she thinks I'm upset. So she's like offering comfort. So that scene when you see his shadow and I yelled no too. I'm like, no. Tessa like jumped up, she came over and she just put her head on my shoulder and started licking me. And she was like, are you okay?
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on? I was like, this show, this scene. It's so like you said, having that scroll was beautifully done. And then yeah, that jump scare of just oh no, like oh my god, it's the
Yeah.
shape of a human, like someone's there. It's just so terrifying and yeah, it makes you want to just scream.
Okay, how did you feel about the dad not staying but just bolting?
Oh, I understand it.
Yeah.
I absolutely understand it because there's a whole lot to process
Yeah.
in what the dad just saw. And a lot of people cannot process immediately these sort of things. I mean, in a way, it was a trauma for the dad,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, it's not only did you, you didn't know your son was gay. I mean, you thought it as it comes, as we come
Yeah.
to find out, like they kind of were thinking that, but he never said anything to you. And then you catch him with someone else. So that means he's in a relationship with someone, or it's to the point where he felt okay enough to invite someone to his cottage. Then, not only that, you realize because he saw the back of Shane. So he knew it was Ilya.
Yeah.
And that's his enemy. That's his rival. They have spent 8 years hating this person.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you find your son whom not only lied to you saying he was at a retreat somewhere, a silent retreat. He's gay and he never really came out and told you. And he's hooking up with this person that they've hated for 8 years.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He's seeing. He knows who it is. He can see him through the
He
glass.
knows who it is.
The
Exactly.
closet is glass.
I would probably bolt too.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's the same thing that Shane did when feelings got too big in the tuna melt scene. It's the same thing Shane did to Ilya in walking out. So
that's true.
It's a family thing. Like this is his dad. No, I mean his dad was unable to process such a huge event. So his gut response is, I need to get out of here. Because and not only that, but he kind of wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the dad was not supposed to be at the house. Anyway, so this was kind of him just like, I'm going to sneak in here while he snuck in at a wrong time. But yeah, like I'm not necessarily upset with what the dad did because I think it's just a reflection of what Shane does earlier in an episode. But also if you're faced with that, I absolutely would be like, I don't even know how to process this. I need a minute. And so, he jumps in the car and leaves. And also, you know what? I would be like, I need my person. And he goes to Yuna. Like, I would 100% understand that. So yeah, I'm not mad that he got into his car and just like drove off. I would do the same thing. It's like it's just it was horrific. Not in a sense of, you didn't see someone getting murdered or anything like that, but it's a trauma. They literally had a trauma, an emotional trauma happen. So yeah, I can't get mad at him for booking it because I'd be like, oh my God, I need to go. Like I would do the same thing for sure. Are you were you upset?
I just want to interrupt this program. This is Scott from Some Other Character. Just wanted to say hi, Happy New Year. My Ambien is kicking in, sleeping time now. Oh, I start Interview with the Vampire in March. You can be my spiritual guide. Does the series get better? Scott, I will totally start a Voxer with you. You can DM me on Insta if you're on it, just so we can set it up, because I don't know what your Voxer name is. He knows I'm obsessed with Interview with the Vampire. He's gonna start reading the books. I got another one. So yes, I will be your guide. I will hold the time for you, baby. Let the ambient kick in, but we'll talk later. But thanks for stopping by. I had to do that.
Yeah.
Dark Luna had me cracking up because it's a boring thing where you talk about how they're similar.
It's a boring trait.
When Ilya says
Yeah,
maybe he didn't notice.
100%. I'm like, your hand was on his son's ass, dude. He saw.
You're
He
smooching
saw.
on him and grabbing him. He really is trying to calm Shane down. Happy New Year, Scott. Okay, good night. That's the best. He's hilarious. I don't know. I think I just felt shocked. Like I had an idea. I didn't know which parent it was gonna be. I was like, someone's showing up. I don't even know how I'd. Well, actually, that's not true. I just it's just a situation, and I'm not judging it, but I don't know. I think you're just being more understanding than I am. I wasn't mad at the dad. I think I just at that moment I felt bad for Shane that he's seeing his parent bolt, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand what you're saying. I kind of wish, you know, in the ideal world that he would have at least stayed. And but then again, it's like that conversation could spiral. So maybe that was the best thing, to leave the situation, to collect
Right.
himself, you know?
Yeah, you don't want him to say something that he's going to regret.
Yeah.
He needed to process, because
Yeah.
it's, and once again, it's not just one thing that he needs to process. Like, if
Yeah.
he caught Shane with a random dude, I don't think he would have bolted that way. I think it was, Shane lied to him for, honestly, it sounds like, aside from hiding the relationship, I mean, Shane has always been kind of straightforward with his parents.
Yeah.
So, I think it was a combination of that, and, yeah, he's gay and he never told us. And then, oh yeah, he's hooking up with his enemy. Like, that would be so traumatic all at once. I mean, not nothing to do, with, but like what I kind of went through in August with my parents. And it was like all at once, sort of a lot of things going on, and a lot of kind of mental traumas happened within a few days of each other. And it's like, it took a lot to process, and I kind of checked out a little bit. And that I totally can understand how the dad would react that way in this sort of situation, facing what he accidentally walked in on. But I did love, once again, Ilya, and I appreciated how he has learned to navigate Shane, and his sort of personality and his traits and stuff like that. Because Ilya very much was like, I'm here to help you. Like, I will do whatever. Yeah, like, I will do whatever I can in this situation. Like, tell me what you need me to do. And part of that is like him offering, just offering to be like, you're brave, and sort of just being there for Shane as he like has a panic attack, a huge panic attack of, what, let me offer these things and let's figure this out. And then, do you want me to go with you? Like, I love that. It's such a loving, supportive relationship now that, just wasn't there in the beginning of the season. And once again, it just shows another progression and maturity within their relationship that I absolutely loved.
Yeah, and I also feel like so much of that is because each one of them is secure in themselves, and they also know that they love each other and what they want from this relationship.
Yeah.
And so because Ilya is aware of that, he's willing to be Shane's rock, because he knows Shane is that for him. I mean, he's already planning out like their whole like future together, So he's
Yeah.
hearing all that, and he's getting to a place where I feel secure with this person, So I thought that was really beautiful. That what was it? It must have been like the first episode where Ilya just sees how Shane could have panic attacks and start to spiral. So he's
Yeah.
already had all those like experiences over the years
Yeah.
with him. And so we're seeing that progression of, all right, the person I love is spiraling right now. I have to be the rock. I have to be like the assured one and verbalize like how I'm going to support them.
Yeah.
Which I thought was incredible. I really like that.
Yeah, and kind of help offer guidance in that sort of situation.
Yeah, and then says, "I'm going to go with you." Like he like offers, like you don't have to do this alone, right? They're in it together. Dorfalina's like, "Oh, I'm going to start reading the books next year too. Sometimes before the new season starts." Yes.
Well, since we have well over a year until we get the new season.
Yeah. Oh, she's talking about Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, Interview. Yeah. Sorry. Different fandom.
Coming out in April. But yes.
I love it.
All right, ladies, I'm tapping out. Good night. I'll catch the rest in the replay. Bye, Dorfalina. Good night.
Bye. Thanks for hanging with us.
Yes, it was fun together. Which leads us to this moment, which darn, I love Ilya. Lovers.
Oh my god. I can understand the aversion to that word, especially with your parents. Like, no, I'm good. Let's find alternative words for that. But honestly, it's also Ilya like learning the true meaning behind English words too sometimes. Because, like the whole thing of narrative, like when he's coming up, when Shane is telling Ilya the plan that he kind of thought up. When he's like, let's change the narrative. And Ilya's like, what is that word? So I feel like the use of that, while it was hilarious, just for what it was, but I feel like that also was just him kind of understanding the true meaning of the word because, you can say the word in different sort of contexts in a way, and different sort of situations. And sometimes it's perfectly fine. And sometimes it's not a word that you should use. And that's definitely not one you should use when you're speaking to your boyfriend's parents that, just accidentally walked in on you.
Could I interrupt this? Weren't you baking something? Do you have something in the oven?
Oh, I turned it off.
Okay, good. I just thought about it right now.
I'm like, wait a second. No, I'm just gonna broil the top of it because I just need to brown the mozzarella on top.
All right. I got worried for a minute. I totally forgot.
No fire alarms going off here. We're good.
But it's so funny because I also felt like it is funny, but I also felt like that's an apt word because that's what they are.
For their situation, yes. Yes.
And they haven't gone to where they land on, which I kind of feel like, although that's a funny word to use, it's accurate, but also like, I feel like even in that language is the arc of Ilya getting to say boyfriend instead of lovers, right?
Yeah.
That was
right.
really sweet.
Well, I mean, they haven't really figured out what they are, at this point, because they really haven't had the opportunity to. I mean, they literally just said I love you to each other. And they just start taking their own route into figuring out their situation, because there's a lot more than just a normal sort of relationship at play here. So yeah, so he's like, but then you can kind of tell, like, he realizes he used the wrong term, and I think that's what made him, like you said, in a little bit later, use the term boyfriend, because I think he's trying to figure out the right term for them.
Yeah.
And then that's when, as soon as he says it, you can kind of see his face, like, oh, I think I used the wrong term. But yeah, there's so much, it's so funny. Well, on the whole thing, when he walks out of the house to get to the car and he's wearing the Boston shirt, Shane's like, that's not gonna help. It was like, oh, they don't know I play for Boston. But like, once again, it's Shane's like freak out, panic attack, because like, I know when I've had my panic attacks, I will say ridiculous things like that. Or like, before they got out of the car, when they get to Yuna and David's house, and he's like, wait, maybe you should stay in the car. Like, it's so ridiculous that you're even saying that. But like, when you're having a panic attack, like when you're in the midst of it, you kind of lose all sense. Like, anything that pops in your head will come out. Like, there's really no control to it. And I love that aspect of it. And then, once they get into the door, and that's, Shane's still like in the middle of a panic attack. But then Ilya's just kind of like standing there. It's like a boy was caught in the daughter's like room.
Yes.
Like, it's that same sort of feeling,
Yeah. And it's so funny because yes, he has his hands closed. It's just in a way that we've never seen Ilya.
Yeah.
And even when he says lovers, he has his hand
like he puts his hand on Shane, and then he's like, oh, like he takes it off. But I also kind of wonder if how he walked into the room and how he was standing and stuff. I kind of wonder if that's some of how he was programmed by his dad, because I think it's in the first episode, when they're standing around and Shane goes to say something or starts talking, and then the dad's like, no, you should not be talking. Like, unless it's a question, because I think it was Shane offering an opinion, or he was trying to be a part of the conversation, and then the dad was like, no, you don't speak unless it's a direct question to you. So I think I'm kind of wondering if maybe that was also kind of an aspect of why Ilya was sort of, very meek, how he was standing. He just was trying not to be the adorable little asshole that he is. And so I'm kind of wondering if maybe some of his meekness was just because he was bred. His parent said, you cannot offer opinions. Like, don't speak unless you are spoken to directly and it's a question. And so maybe he kind of was pulling on that because he's facing Shane's parents at this point. So it's kind of like, oh, I can't do anything. I can't be the person that I normally am. Like, at heart, I can't be that person. I have to be meek and sort of, allow things to be told to me and not speak back. So I think that's also maybe a little bit of why he sort of appeared that way. But it was so freaking funny. I mean, this entire scene, like, it was so emotional, but it was also just freaking funny.
Yeah, again with the roller coaster of just like tug and pull of like the emotional weight of something brought on by like hilarious levity. Which then brought us to the lovers comment again. But by the mother.
It's like,
by Yuna.
No, it was the summer before.
It's like, you're not helping.
But I love how David was like, Oh, the All-Star Weekend, like, he pulled it out because yeah, I mean, the All-Star Weekend was kind of their pivot into their relationship, and so, yeah, like, there definitely was a lot more sort of chemistry being shown between the 2 of them and stuff like that, but I loved it was like, "Oh, that's gotta be it," and then they were like, "No."
Yeah.
But, yeah, the mom being like, oh, okay." Lover.
Yeah.
Shane's just mortification. I love it. But once again, they're at the ricketiest table that I have ever seen in the history of the world. Like, the woman who plays Yuna is probably like 125 pounds dripping wet. And she goes to push off of the table to go get a drink, and the table goes. So, like, if you watch it, once again, that probably is a sign I've watched it too many times. Um, but, like, if you watch that scene, she goes to push herself up, the table just goes boop, boop, boop. I was like, what is that table made of? Like plywood?
Yeah. Yeah. I just it's so good. Yeah, probably plywood. I'm like trying to watch while we're talking. Um,
No, and I love the mom when he was like when Shane's just rambling because he's so freaked out and nervous and stuff and he's not stopping. I love how he's like oh god, what how did he put it? It's like yeah, when he well, first of all, when he enters, he's like, "Hi, it's me, Shane." It's like they saw you come up the stairs, dude. And then when he's like, and you know Ilya Rozanov, which you already know, like it's just so good. But then he's like, I'm sorry you had to find out this way, and you're just like, what exactly are we finding out? Because yeah, once again, it is layer upon layer upon layer upon layer at this point of like information that the parents are just finding out. So they're like, where do we even start?
yeah, and what I love about that is I don't think she's asking it. She just wants to hear the answer from
Mhm.
directly from Shane.
From Shane, 100%.
I really think that yeah, you're right. I think David came home. I'm sure he told his wife like right away, like, hey, this is what happened.
100%.
And just trying to get his bearings.
Mhm.
And so I just feel like in the relationship, um, even though we don't get a lot of the parents, I could see like their dynamic
Mhm.
that Yuna is the one that's probably like more extroverted. Um
Yes.
and but that doesn't mean they're not communicating because I definitely felt like this conversation not at the table, but when they first go in and what you're bringing up about Yuna asking like, okay, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, what
Um,
exactly are we learning?
yeah, that reminds me of the lunch conversation that they all had when I was saying that Yuna said prince first and then backtracked and
Yeah.
said princess
Mhm.
because I mean the parents as actors are so good as well because David was like leaning in. We
Mhm.
could see that like he's trying to hide the nervousness under the table, like because his hands were doing like this.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't until I saw that dynamic of these two actors playing the parents that I realized, oh, they don't have to tell me. They're kind of like showing me that there's got to be some sort of pre-conversation that had went on
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
to get to that moment because then when Shane gets up and walks away like he's in the restroom or whatever he does, David says to her like princess, like kind of like, hey, you backtracked. Because she goes, you know, like so
Yeah.
I just it's so subtle, but I love it because we can clearly see that they had a conversation before on how they're
Mhm.
gonna try to handle this, and it didn't really pan out. It was just probably like they didn't know what to do, right? And so
Well, and it's also Shane wasn't ready.
yes. Yeah,
Shane
yeah.
was
There's only
not
so many
ready to
people.
have that conversation.
Yes, yes. But again, great here because we saw the interaction.
Mm-hmm.
We as an audience start to put together the pieces and say, okay, he went home, spilled the beans to his wife, and like, get ready.
Prepare. We know just we know what's coming. No,
Yeah.
100%. Like, yeah. And the whole conversation at the table when the mom was like, "You didn't let him win, did you?"
Yes. Yes.
It's like, would you let dad ever win at cards? I would rather die. Like, I love Yuna so much. And that was
Incredible.
such a great, like, that was her fear. Like, and once again, it's another, like, she wasn't mad about any of this, really. Like, at the end, she was not mad about any of it. It was more like,
That it's Ilya.
it's Ilya. Exactly. That's the thing that she was hung up on. And it's not, and she's not necessarily mad that it's Ilya.
No, no, no.
They just
But
don't understand it. But like, yeah, but her thought, because once again, hockey is life for her. She's
yeah,
like, did you ever let him win? Like, she would have been pissed
yeah,
if Shane had ever said, like, well, yeah, I kind of gave it, no, like, she would be so mad, not about the relationship, but if he had done something during a game that cost him the game because he was like trying to give it to Ilya. Like, I love that. I love that.
but you know what? Now that you're saying this is actually putting something together for me. Okay, so this is part of why Shane earlier at the cottage is saying, or is kind of blaming Ilya for not coming out, is because it's Ilya.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is very interesting.
Well, and that's why Ilya was like, you can come out without giving a list of people that you've slept with. That's why
Yeah,
he goes on to say that, because he's like, wait, you can't blame me for that, because you don't have to say who you're sleeping with or who you
yeah,
were
yeah,
together with. Like, you can just come out and say you're gay. Like, that's
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's but for Shane, I think for Shane, it's all wrapped up into one thing for him.
yeah,
It's not a separate issue. Like, yeah, I mean, it is two separate issues, being gay and then Ilya, and being with Ilya. But like, for Shane, it's just one big giant secret, and so it's kind of all wrapped up together. And that's probably why he never told his parents, because he kind of was like, I don't want to tell them about the entire thing. And I think for him, if he's going to tell his secret, I think he wants to tell the whole thing. I don't think he wants to tell little tiny aspects, because then he would still be holding something back from his parents. And they're a
yeah,
very close knit relationship. I mean, Momager, like, she is actively a part of his life, everyday life. So it's like, I can kind of understand why maybe Shane continued to hide it, because he's like, if I'm going to say it, I want to say everything. I don't want to have any more secrets. And so
yeah,
he kind of wrapped them up together in one thing. But yeah, like Ilya being like, oh, well, you can just say you're gay without saying who you're with.
yeah,
But I think for Shane, it's like, no, I need to come completely clean with my parents. And I have no idea how to do that. But yeah, I love I love Yuna. And she's one of my favorite characters, and oh god. See how bored of me before you show things like this, okay?
But you saying that you love Yuna is why I loved this scene so much.
Yeah.
And the actor, Hudson, who's playing Shane here, when he says, I forgive you, mom, the way his voice sounded
No.
just broke my little heart. It was,
I mean,
but
Yuna's once again showing she is not mad at his choices. She's not mad that he's gay. She is not mad that she's with or he's with Ilya. Like, she doesn't understand it. She's like, you hate him. But what she's upset about is the fact that Shane felt he couldn't tell her.
Yeah, and that it was
And
going on for
that
so long.
she felt that she created an environment that Shane was not comfortable enough in to be like, I'm gay, mom. And that's what she was upset about. It wasn't that he's gay. And I mean, the whole start where he's like, I really tried. I tried
Yeah.
so hard. And it's just like, oh my God, honey, stop. You're not, you have nothing to apologize for. And I'm glad she said that. Cause yeah, it's like, she was more upset that she felt like what her actions made Shane feel that he could not come out and to her or talk to her about it. And that
Yeah.
is just, ugh, it's heartbreaking.
I also feel like as you're saying this, I'm reflecting on how like sometimes like intention isn't enough,
Hmm.
and he's reverting back to addressing him being gay as a problem here
Yeah.
when discussing it with her. And I also don't know because we do speak so much about like the cultural experience of what I don't understand or I'm trying to connect with um because Ilya's Russian, but
Hmm.
also Shane is Japanese Canadian and he
Hmm.
has a lot of weight on him. Um in terms of like his mom
Yeah.
unintentionally making him feel the pressure of his culture, like Japanese Canadian culture,
Hmm.
and knowing that this is he's in a profession where he's a minority and other little kids because she said to him early on, like maybe in the first episode, like a lot of little kids are going to be looking at you and they never had a
Yeah.
chance to see themselves until you. So there's all that pressure of like unbeknownst to her that her son's gay
Hmm.
and feeling like, oh well, now I can't come out because I could be jeopardizing not this just for not just for like for sponsors or anything like that, but I have the weight of my whole culture on me.
A whole country. I mean,
Yes,
the
yes,
first episode, he was playing for Canada,
yes, yes,
and
yeah,
yeah, I mean, it's not just himself, it's also his family, and it's the culture, and it's the country. They're all
yes,
invested in him.
yes, but also specifically that when she's bringing up other kids that now see you and now
Hmm.
they're seeing someone that looks like them
Hmm.
they haven't seen before, I think is also the part that's hard for him.
Yeah.
Um, and they kind of like, I think that's kind of wrapped up in her saying, I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you couldn't come out. Cause even with the best of intentions and, everything that she's done, I know like the word momager gets thrown around, but she's clearly doing it like for him.
For him. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. No,
And
it's
so,
not a toxic thing.
yeah,
It's
it's
what
gotta
she's
be
doing is
like,
not toxic at all.
it's gotta be hard to know that you're trying to do what you think is the best for your kid. And even that
Hmm.
hurts them, you know?
Yeah. I know. I know. It's hard. It's hard. And once again, I kind of harken back to the Schitt's Creek, Patrick coming out to
Yeah.
his parents episode. Because that, you know, eh, every sort of gay love story that has been portrayed before Schitt's Creek or this one has always ended in some kind of tragedy in a way, like the parents never accepted them, or one of them dies, or they can't be together. It's just there's such a lack of portrayal of a normal healthy relationship, and sort of and specifically like coming out, and how, once again, the parents are not mad. They're not upset. They're not angry about the fact that their son is gay. Like, that's not what they're kind of upset about, and that is so rarely portrayed.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's either tragedy, there's always like a shoe that falls. Like it's so refreshing to see a sort of situation like that where it's like, no, they're not in trouble. They're not a problem. It's fine. Like they are who they are. And, the parents are like, yeah, we kind of suspected, like that's not what we're upset about at all. And I love how Jacob Tierney sort of treated this situation, and an adaptation from the book as well, and that same sort of acceptance of it. Like I love that portrayal of this sort of situation, and I feel like it's something that needs to be seen more. They need to do more of.
Yeah, but not only that she's apologizing, but that he accepts it and he
Yeah.
forgives her. And I also think that's so much a part of like the healing is like
Yeah.
what else could you do? You're already meeting me and
Hmm.
like um apologizing. And so I just feel like it's like they're both accepting each other in this moment, embracing each other. And it was just like, I love it. It was so good. Um,
Sorry, I just need to check. Okay, I need to grab my charger. My
Go
phone's
ahead,
done.
run, girl. Because
Continue.
I'm gonna share something while Sam steps away. Um, I'm gonna end up playing like a little bit of a clip. There's someone I didn't notice this. It was someone that on Instagram, and I thought it was so hilarious, and I haven't had a chance to discuss it with Sam yet. But Yuna and Shane go back inside. They sit at
In
the
case
table.
you're wondering, the princess is princessing.
Okay, good.
She's currently on the couch on top of not one, not two, three blankets and a pillow.
As she should be.
As she should be, exactly.
She better have her tiara on too.
And I took it away. She kept chewing on it.
Yeah. All right. So I was saying I'm gonna share like because I think I get away with it. A couple of seconds of a clip. I'm just gonna show it and then I'll explain something because I didn't notice before, and someone on Instagram pointed out and made me laugh so hard, and I haven't had a chance to discuss it with you yet. So I don't know why these dang commercial things come up. Go away. Go away. Go away, HBO.
Shoo.
There we go. There we go. There's look at this gentleman in this area, okay?
I love him.
All right. In that scene, when he eats a spaghetti, his shoulders do a little shimmy.
He's so, oh my God. I mean, first of all, the fact that, this is probably the first home cooked meal that he has had since his mom died.
Yeah.
Because as soon as his mom was the nurturer, and, you can just tell the dad was not a nurturer by nature at all.
Yeah.
So like, I think for him, not only is he in a family situation that is a positive situation that he
Yeah.
hasn't had since he was 12.
Yeah.
He's all excited, but I love I love when he's like just getting ready and Shane's like, stop, like, no. He's like,
Yeah.
we're having a conversation here. But then he's like, okay. So then he does that, but so then he's like quietly, almost like maybe he won't notice if I see that.
Yeah.
But I love the shimmy. That's so funny. I don't think I've ever noticed that.
But also, and then I'm just gonna share like a couple of things. Or even this, it's not like the best, but like his dad grabs a piece of bread and gives it to Ilya as they're talking, and that shimmy has already happened. But what I really love about this is that there's a couple of things. One, first in the tuna melt scene, when Ilya's getting out all the ingredients, he's like checking in on Shane, like, is your drink cold enough for you? And we learn in the next episode, I think, when Ilya has a whole Russian monologue, he says, I'm always trying to like make sure everything's perfect for everyone. I want to make sure that the food is perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's doing that with Shane.
Mm-hmm.
He does that for his family. And this is the first time where how should I say this? He spends so much time feeding everyone else.
Yeah.
And now he's the one being fed.
Being fed. No, 100%. 100%. And that's, I mean, that's like, he's in a loving familial situation that he has not been in since his mom died.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah, he's always been the one to take care of everyone, wanting to make sure everyone's happy, wanting to make sure everyone has what they need. And it's, you know, in like he did in the monologue, like more, you know, it's always like, give me, give me, give me. But yeah, like you said, you know, this is the first time that someone's kind of taking care of him in that regard. Which honestly, like I said, in the future, in the book, in Long Game and stuff, especially, like, it's you do see that sort of relationship progress with the family and stuff like that. And you know, it's very, like, I love that they kind of included a little aspect of that, just a little bit of that, like you said, David handing him the bread. I love how they kind of sprinkled that in a little bit in that scene. But yeah, I mean, that boy was like a little princess.
And I know it comes off
the spoonfuls of Parmesan.
And I know it is funny. It's all these things. It's sad on reflecting on Ilya's past. It's funny in the moment because it's Shane is like spiraling.
Right.
But I also think it's an indicator of a reminder of Shane's family, and that's why he's so comfortable and joyous and enjoying the food, because he knows they're going to be okay, because his family is, he just, when they open the door and he says, you know, lovers and I'm gay, at no point have they call them the F slur, blackmail them, ask them for money, like none of that stuff happened. And instead they go to a table to have a conversation. So already already Ilya knows they're going to be okay.
Yeah, he's safe.
In a way that Shane doesn't know, because Shane doesn't have that dysfunctional dynamic to contrast with.
Right.
You know?
No, absolutely. He doesn't have that to pull from. Yeah. No, I mean, Ilya's almost instantly at ease around them once they do get past the front door. And that whole thing, to kind of see how the conversation is going to go. And I absolutely love that. Yeah, because Ilya's comfortable around them, and you know, he's happy to be able to eat, and you know, it's something he didn't have to make or buy or anything like that. Someone made it for him, you know. And that, it's just, it's so special. And then, you know, and that's it, and that kind of then like spurs on Ilya to comfort Shane when he does like fully freak out. Like I mean, he would have been able to comfort him before. I know, like, he would have been able to comfort him had something happened, had it turned out to not be the sort of acceptance that, you know, they ended up with. But I think that point kind of spurred him on and made him able to comfort Shane in the way that he did, of just be like, you know, it's okay. Your family's here. Your family's okay. You're here. Your boyfriend's here. It's okay. Like, all of that just kind of, you know, it's so so freaking sweet and adorable and, so comforting and safe. It's a
Yeah.
safe environment. And I think Ilya just wanted Shane to be like, wanted to make sure Shane knew, like, this is a safe place.
Mhm.
You don't have to worry about anything. Like, we are all here to protect you.
Yeah.
And, and it shows on Yuna and David's face too, like,
Yeah.
seeing this interaction between the two of them and being like, okay, he's taking care of him. Like, he's okay. I
Yeah.
think that, like, was a huge plus in their book, watching this sort of unfold in front of them.
Yeah. Because all I know, Ilya is from like the public persona that he's a lady man, which he admits to.
Right.
And
Right. Oh
so,
God. And then can we talk about them once again paralleling with the foot tap under the
yes,
table?
yes.
I love it.
it's
I love it.
it's
I mean, their love language is touch, is physical.
yeah, yeah.
And
Usually it's handles and
it's
things, but not this time.
yeah. I mean, and it's so hard because it's so forbidden since they can't be publicly out.
Mhm.
And to have that be their love language is it just makes it kind of worse in a way. It's like
Yeah,
when your love language is physical touch and you're in a relationship that expressly forbids sort of any sort of intimacy, in the public, it just makes it that much harder. But
yeah,
the little foot tappies. I
yeah.
know,
This one was adorable. Yeah, go and watch the shimmy again. It was also funny. But where was I gonna go with this? Um, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to this for a second because Ilya says, your boyfriend is here, and so I was kind of looking at this more than just um solidifying the relationship, and Shane does respond like questioningly, like boyfriend, like he's really like taking this in. But I also think that this is indicative of how for Shane and Ilya, but I'll stick with Shane. He's spent his whole life, well, a big chunk of his life is being closeted. Then the other part is he is like surrounded by this like heteronormative roles that have been placed on
Mhm.
him. Like even when his mom's trying to like potentially set him up or trying to feel like what's going on with him, when his I can't remember his friend's name, but the one that has like a bazillion kids.
Hayden. Oh
When
God.
when he's trying to set him up with a girl, like, and then ask about
Right.
Lily, like, and when are you going to have kids? There's all these ways that he's pressured into like being with someone of the opposite sex. And what I'm getting at
Mhm.
is then he ends up with Rose because there's like an expectation for him to have a girlfriend, right?
Right.
So he wouldn't allow himself, just kind of how Ilya wouldn't allow himself to even give himself hope in this relationship.
Mhm.
Shane probably could not ever fathom having a chance to call someone else, whether it's Ilya or not, his boyfriend.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think that's why that moment is so important. Just beyond how important their relationship is specifically to
Mhm.
them, but I also think generally speaking for him being a gay man and
Yeah.
actually verbally having someone say it out loud
Yeah.
and knowing like, oh yeah, I'm now going to be able to say that you're my boyfriend, and this is something that I could share with like my parents.
Yeah. Well, and this entire, once again, the entire purpose of the cottage was just for them to figure out their relationship. And, and I think that being able to have in the end a moniker like that,
Yeah.
he is my boyfriend. I think that was just kind of the whole purpose of the entire sort of cottage, and he definitely Shane built the cottage so that they could have a place
Yeah.
to be away from me, the world, so that they could kind of be together. And I mean, yeah, it initially it was, and you know, to everyone, it's like, oh no, he built this just as a sanctuary, but it's a sanctuary for he and Ilya, you know.
Yeah. And also just how I know you're kind of like, we're kind of circling back to this, but I love how quickly Yuna, which I already in my mind I already knew this was gonna happen, because again, this is romance, so it's gonna end on a happy note, and we already know enough about Yuna that she immediately goes into game plan mode
Yeah, momager, yeah. It's
about
like,
how they're
okay,
gonna.
we're gonna reach out to all of them. I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I mean
Yeah,
that, like, that definitely is, you know, kind of spurred on Shane's panic attack, was, you
yeah,
know, because she did sort of jump into that, like, okay, acceptance, we're fine. Okay, now we're gonna reach out to all of our sponsors, like, and then that sort of pushed it to being way too much for Shane, way too
yeah,
big.
yeah,
But I just, once again, it's normalizing something that is often seen as not having been able to have like a happy ever after.
yeah,
And you know, this just, yeah, it was perfect. And then I mean the whole final scene of them walking down the steps and being like, okay, I'm gonna stop in town and we're gonna pick up some chicken and salad stuff and
yeah.
beer, and then you know we'll be at the house. And they were like, text us. And
Mhm.
David's like, pay attention to your phone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we'll text, pay attention.
I want to bring this up very specifically because not only does David say phone, he says it plural. He says
Phones.
phones,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
phones, and I thought that was so important because that means they now have Ilya's
Alias.
number,
Yep.
and he's now a part of the family.
Yep.
Like just
Yep.
like that. Like I have both your numbers. You're included. Your boyfriend. And I
Yep.
thought that was so important. You know, he's been fed. He has open communication with them, even though they
Mm-hmm.
just met him. And they're, you know, the cottage is glass. David's already gotten a taste of what will happen if you just pop on by and they're not
What's been happening?
anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I
So
mean, 100%. Like, it's,
yeah,
well, and once again, in the long game, the relationship between David and Yuna and Ilya, you know, is it's just so special. And, you know, this is just another way of accepting who they are and not being mad about what they are. You know, and just being like, okay, instant family. Like, it's just,
yeah,
it's so great. And then, you know, like, love you, love you too, like,
yeah,
all that. And then just the thank you for the pasta.
yeah, 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 yeah. And it's just so sweet. Which so I look
It
forward
is.
to seeing all that in season 2.
Hmm.
But also, again, I just keep thinking back to the fact that I'm so glad Ilya has them because he is losing a lot, but what he had in Russia didn't serve him anyways. It was like toxic.
He
So
didn't even want it.
he didn't want it. He didn't
He
feel
didn't
love.
want
It
it. I mean, that's
wasn't.
the whole
Yeah,
monologue in Russian was
yeah,
that I don't even want to be here. I
yeah,
don't want to come back. And that's
yeah,
like, and you know, in the end of the episode, when Svetlana's like, "Oh, don't forget for your niece," and he's like, "Yeah, grab it," because he was packing a bag to go back to Russia
yeah,
before Scott
yeah,
Hunter did what he did.
yeah,
And you know, it's like he was doing it out of duty. Sounds like a Gilbert and Sullivan show, but he was doing
yeah,
it out of duty. Like, he felt he had to go to Russia.
yeah,
And so, you know, yes, and I mean, it does come up in the second book as well about, you know, the sacrifices that he kind of did to be in this sort of relationship. And
yeah,
yeah, I mean, he's giving up his country, his identity in a way,
yeah,
you know, by choosing this. And it's the same way he's talking about, you know, being traded to Ottawa, you know, signing with Ottawa instead of Boston. Like, he's changing a lot, giving up a lot to be in this sort of relationship. So it's, it's really, this isn't the happy ever after.
Yeah.
Like we kind of need, yes, the episode ended in such a great, safe, wonderful, happy sort of, ending, but they're driving off into the future. And the future, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be an easy road. Exactly.
Yeah, they're driving
It's
off
not a
into the
guarantee.
sunset. Yeah.
Right.
Literally driving off into the sunset.
Into the sunset.
Beautiful.
But like, if you look at that without thinking about what's coming, and they didn't even know if they would have a second season when
Yeah.
they filmed the end of this. So if you took that and was just like, okay, they're fine, it's gonna be good, bye-bye. But now that we know there's more coming, you have to realize, like, they're not just driving off to be happy. Like, there's still conflict. They still can't be out in public together. They still can't be who they want to be because they have to stay closeted to be able to play. So like they're not 100% happy. They're still not 100% done. Like, this is just a stolen 2 weeks. And you kind of have to remember that, because if you don't, then you're like, oh, they'll be fine. But no, they're not.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of conflict and things that they need to work through in order to maybe consider having their happy ever after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh, it's definitely read the books. They're so good. And Long Game, honestly, is my favorite book of all of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing from a lot of people Long Game is a one.
So good. And I guarantee you, I know how Jacob Tierney is going to end season 2 before season 3, and I'm going to be so mad if I'm right, but I feel like I'm going to be right.
Yeah. I just love their car ride home. How they're just like, oh, and speaking of like from the beginning, the first car ride when Shane picks up Ilya, they had the shades on. They weren't touching each other yet. They were just like, they were scared. And it's not till Ilya says that he's terrified that they hold hands. But here, the windows people can see through the glass. And although they just feel like they're more relaxed and they're touching each other, but their hands are like up higher. And so I also thought that was beautiful. And like, yes, like you're saying, there's so much more that they're going to have to navigate, and they're still going to be closeted in some way. And, Shane's parents know, but there's just like more of an ease because they've gone through this really big hurdle that Shane would have probably put it off for a while. That would have been a whole other season if what hadn't happened,
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it's just it's so well done. And I'm so happy with the decisions that Jacob Tierney made to changes from the books. I really am not mad at any of the choices, or the changes, I should say.
Do you want to talk a little bit about some of those changes? Because I wouldn't know.
Okay. I mean, there's not a lot. I mean, a lot of the dialogue is verbatim to these scenes that were very special, that they highlighted, like the tuna melt scene, even a lot of the scenes like the I love you scene, the first I love you scenes, that stuff is very true to the book. It's more how they incorporated Kip and Scott, that definitely, it does happen congruently with what's going on with Heated Rivalry. So, it very much is during that timeline. So, they had to kind of change some of the things about it. Some of the characters aren't there. But I mean, for the most part, it very much is true to the book. And like I said, like, and especially in this episode, the bellboy scene, like the bellhop thing, that was not in the book at all. The sort of some of the playfulness, for sure, that was in this last episode was not in the book. but it very much fit who Shane and Ilya are, and especially how they were portrayed by Connor and Hudson. So, you know, I mean, it did so well. And honestly, it speaks to how well written the books are to begin with and what Rachel did in creating this world. Like, she did such a great job. You know, there's like my other favorite adaptation for TV is the Discovery of Witches. So like
Yes.
that whole, yeah, I love, and they changed a lot from the
Yeah.
books, and in many ways for the better, I found.
Yeah.
So you know, but once again, there were a lot of changes. So you know, the fact that this season for the heated rivalry, the fact that they really didn't change a ton,
Yeah.
it really speaks to how you know, how great and just complete the series, the books are.
Yeah.
You know, that's very, it's very rare because a lot of times they have to change stuff for TV, and especially in a time where it's a timeline thing. I mean, this has
Yeah.
happened in, you know, 8, 9 years, so it's not an easy thing to follow, just because it's a lot of time to cover, and especially in 6 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, so that's, and especially when you're writing a book too, like it's, anytime you have a time jump, it's so freaking hard.
Yeah.
And then I also just want to point out about the series, the technology in the phones and how they sort of, you know, they they did such a great job with the technology and keeping the technology for the year that they were in. And you know, like Blackberries and having a physical keyboard and, you know, the headphones and things like that. Like, they did such a good job of keeping that moving and starting off with, you know, kind of the early part of technology in 2008 and everything, and then, you know, by the final seasons they're starting to use iPhones,
Yeah.
you know, once they were, yeah. So I just want to give out props for that, because I really did, they did such a great job, really keeping true to what those was, you know, what the technology was at that time.
If you could pick a line or maybe a couple, in case it's hard to choose, what's like your favorite line from this
From the
series?
episode or the series?
Both, whichever one you want to answer.
I mean, for me, this episode, I want to say, she would have loved you the way I love you. That is so, so near and dear to my heart and so special. Um, for the entire series, man, that is so freaking hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the other, I mean, one of the other moments that I absolutely love is from the previous episode. And when Ilya starts reaching out to Shane, and like the whole, you know, when Shane, once again, he's like, I have an idea. You know, why don't you tell me? Because everything's so big right now. Tell me what you're feeling in Russian, because that will
Yeah.
probably be easier. You know, that whole, just that whole beginning for me is so, because once again, it's like Shane, you know, he's very literal, and the
Yeah.
fact that he is, that's how he's reaching out to Ilya at a time when he knows he's going through a lot. I love that, when he's like, you know, I have an idea. Anytime he says I have an idea, I just love that, because it's like, this is his way of showing his love, and you know, being like, okay, this is hard for you, then why don't you try telling me in Russian? I won't understand it, but at least it'll help you get it out. And then, and then he does this whole monologue, and then at the end he's like, did that help? And it's like, yes. Like, that's such a pivotal thing for me. I feel like, because once again, it's a change in their relationship, and he's encouraging him. And, he doesn't, like I said, Shane is very literal. And so the fact that he's just like, I have an idea, tell me in Russian, because it's too big for you to kind of have to not only process your feelings, but then have to translate it into English from your native language. So like, use your native language, and, maybe that'll help you. So yeah, I will have to say, this episode for sure is She Would Have Loved You Like I Love You. But then I think for the whole series is that previous episode of the.
I'd have to agree with you about this episode. I even used it in the photo for this because it like that devastated me. It like scorched my heart.
Yeah.
And I think for the series, it might be, I mean, I feel like it's going to change over time. I think it really is when Ilya was singing Russian. I don't know it verbatim, but something like, I love you. I love you so much. I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
That messed me up.
Oh, 100%. I mean, honestly, that whole part, because then he's like, Svetlana loves me and I love her.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but not, and then stops. And then, it's not the way that I love you. And, it's so big. And like, I love all these videos of the, like, watching the show like it's a sports program. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a sports girl. I am a sports girl. But I love, whoops, my phone.
You dropped me.
I'm back. This is what happens when you're house sitting and you don't have your normal stuff. But yeah, like I love how everyone just kind of like cheered and stuff during that moment, and all these videos. But yeah, it's just so freaking good. Yeah. It's so freaking good. I don't want to leave the bubble.
Yeah.
That is your favorite scene? Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. With that said, I want to say a big thank you to Canada.
Thank you for sharing, even though we don't deserve it.
We definitely, as someone in the States, I know we don't deserve it at all. Thank goodness HBO swooped in like 2 weeks out, but you took too long, HBO. Step it up. But beautiful. Oh, Canada, only you could do it. I love you, Canadians. Thank you.
I wish I could become a Canadian citizen so I could pay taxes, so my taxes would go to this show.
Yeah, tariff the shit out of us, okay? For season 2.
Please. Please, I will happily pay a heated rivalry tariff.
Thank you, Canada. We must have the Canadian awards next year. Definitely. I don't know. Yes. I'm gonna start doing the research and we're gonna keep an eye on it because I need to know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think well, I don't know. I'll have to check about Schitt's Creek because it was included in award season, even though it was a Canadian show. I just don't know. I don't know the rules because I don't know if maybe there was an American production company that was a part of making Schitt's Creek, and that kind of allowed the eligibility of it. But I do kind of want to find out.
Yeah. Again, another like you mentioned, another Canadian show though that really brought the world in of, you know what? Let's just have everyone love these
inclusive
characters.
Yeah,
no one's gonna die. It's just so good. And thank you, Sam, because I wrote Sam into this. Like, we were watching it and talking about it so much, and I was like, do you want to hop onto my channel? and she's been gracious with her time because we've been waxing poetic about this show. So thank you for
Anytime.
doing this with me.
Of course. Thanks for inviting.
Yeah, I need someone to bounce off of. I cannot just, this show's incredible. And I always appreciate your insights. Um, I'm there's other channels that are huge. So if you're watching this, you might already know about them, but there's Empty Netters, which
Oh, God.
they're incredible. There's two sports channels. That's one, a hockey one, and the other one I think is called Chaos something. It's also a hockey show, and it's so
Oh,
funny to see these guys.
yeah.
These guys talk about the show, kind of like how you're saying. It's so funny, and because they love it, they're like so rooting for this show. So it warms my heart. It feels like we're all coming together as a community, and we get the point. We get it that these characters just love each other, and we're so in love with the love. It is
Yeah.
just, I love it. It's so great. Yeah, thank you guys. Had so much fun. Thank you for that. Definitely. After the stream in a little bit, I'll add their channel later. So why not share the love? All right. Thank you, everyone. Just keep
Thanks, guys.
remembering that life is chaos. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and read more books. Good night.